Now back live. If you can hear me clearly, go ahead and type just one person that you met in the breakout session, one person that you met. Go ahead and just type their name, as well as let us know, if you haven't already, where you're chiming in from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching online, you need to go to litcon.org. If you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever, go to litcon.org so that you can join us in the chat and the giveaway. Okay, so we have some giveaways. By the way, everybody that's here today that's registered and shows up live, you're going to get a special gift. Literally everybody that shows up live, and you're going to get it right at the end of the conference. So you need to make sure, trust me, I'm not going to tell you yet, but you don't want to miss it. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be bringing on Lena.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Did y'all miss me? I miss y'all. So we're gonna jump into our next panel of discussions. We're gonna have Miss Deborah Lacey, Miss Deshonda Jennings, and Miss Casey Warren. They will be gracing the stage with us this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, well, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me get you. We're gonna start off with some brief introductions. Let's start with Miss Lacey. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
My name is Deborah Lacey. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Deborah Lacey. I live in Mississippi. I'm originally from Wilmington, Delaware, but I've been here for 30 years. So I say Mississippi is my home. I'm the mother of two boys. And I didn't mention yesterday, I also have a son who's autistic. He's 42 years, he'll be 42 years old next month. The mother
And
of
then
two boys. And I didn't mention yesterday. The book that I have written, he's going to be in that book. It's called First You Cry. And it talks about four different traumatic situations that I've dealt with and how the Lord had blessed me to get through them because they were very traumatic. The first book I wrote was a poetry book. I've been writing poetry for almost 20 years. When I was in college, I would write on pieces of paper and I would lose the paper. Then I got a tablet. Then I got a notebook. Then I got a journal. Then I got a computer so I could keep up with my writing. I've always liked to write. I just hope I can inspire other people to write as well.
All right, that's wonderful. All right, next we're going to have Miss Deshonda Jennings tell us a little bit about herself.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Deshonda Jennings, and I teach caring and aspiring home-based childcare business owners how to be profitable in their business. In addition to that, I also am the owner of DJ Shining Stars Preschool.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then up next, we're going to have Miss Casey Warren.
Good morning. I'm a certified life coach and speaker. I specialize in leadership, empowerment, and accountability. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, ladies. So let me start off with Deshonda. Let me ask you a question. Can you tell me about your journey as an author so far?
Oh gosh, if I can go all the way back to the beginning, as I think about when I used to have the little diary. I don't know if anybody on here used to have the little diary with the key. That was me. But to be honest, I never thought of myself as an author, although I like writing in journals and things like that until 2016 when I got the opportunity to become an author on a collaboration project. And then fast forward as I understood what an author was and how my expertise and my gifts and the things that I've been through can bless other people, then I really honed in on my gift and I began to write my own books for people in the childcare space on how they too can start a home-based childcare business. From that, I also wrote books on how they can set their environment up. And then my latest book here Learning Through Play is my first children's book. And in that book, I'm so excited that I'm able to leave a legacy not only for my kids, but for my grandkids, because they're actually the characters in the book. And being an educator, one of the things that kids need to know going into our public school system in kindergarten is to understand math and literacy. So this particular book, Learning Through Play, is very strategic. It's teaching them those little fun concepts that not only can educators do, but parents can also do, grandparents can do. Everybody can do these things where our kids actually having fun. They're actually learning math concepts. So that's a little bit about my journey and where I am as an author.
Oh, wow, I love it. Thank you for that. I like that you take something that's what we think is simple as play and use it as a tool for learning. I think that that's a great tool, a great combination. So thank you. All right, so
Thank
Miss
you.
Miss Warren, let me ask you a question. What do you think, as an author, what challenges do you think that people they run against in the writing process?
For myself, even I believe it's time management and accountability. I feel like as a accountability coach, I've helped many people who need the process of the consistency to write the book, whether that be in time management, whether that be in time blocking, holding themselves accountable and taking ownership, being able to take feedback from their accountability coach. That's always something that needs, it's a process, it's mindset, it's awareness, and it's also self control. And it's holding them to the words that they chose to reach their goal, right? We all have big dreams, but we can talk about it and then we can do it. My job is to help you implement it and um, get you into production. So I believe time management is the biggest key because everybody has busy lives and they can't always make time for themselves. But if you time block it and you set alarms and you practice that every single day, preparation makes a difference. And that also helps you get to the outcome, which is your book in hand, which will make an impact in your life and your future.
Thank you. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think a lot of times we put that writing thing off to the side. There's always something else we can do. It's rather than sit down and actually get that done. So I think sometimes we do need an accountability partner or coach or whatever that looks like, something to make sure we get it done by a deadline. So I think I would agree with that as well. All right, Miss Lacey. So tell us about a little bit. I know you touched on with your latest project, what you're working on. So give us a little bit of insight on that and what inspired you to write that.
Um, my family has inspired me a lot, but mainly just going through and how to deal with it. I didn't really have anybody to talk to. With my son, he's in the book, and when he was first diagnosed, we were stationed over in Germany. We were military, and the doctor said your son has autism, and Dean has always drawn. Let me show you. He's always drawn Mickey Mouse since he was about 5. He loves drawing Mickey Mouse. He draws Mickey Mouse all the time. And I asked the doctor. I said, "How do you know? Is he going to be like a Rembrandt or a Van Gogh, that kind of artist?" He said, "No, ma'am, not artistic, autistic." And he couldn't explain what that was. He just said it was pervasive developmental delayed syndrome. That was back in the 80s. They didn't know too much about it. They didn't have the resources like they have now. The teachers weren't trained to do a lot, so I was just going hit and miss learning everything. But and then I went through a divorce, a very serious divorce, and then my mother died, and my mother-in-law died, who I was very close to. So those were very traumatic things that happened. So that's what inspired me to write, hoping I can help someone else get over the hurdles of going through different things, not just sitting around crying. Because I titled the book "First You Cry," and I cried a lot. The boohoo, snot, tears, ugly cry. It was ugly. But after that, you have to get up. You have to put your feet on the ground and move on.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And I think I like his Mickey Mouse. Is that a recent picture?
No, I had to take. He doesn't let anybody touch his pictures. Autistic people are very territorial. Everything has to be
Hmm.
in place. He carries a whole lot of pictures all the time. And one day I took a picture out, I didn't think that he has them in order. They're all in order. And if he always flips them, and he flipped the pictures and he noticed a picture was missing, and he looked at me and he was mad. He went through the house mumbling because he's not that verbal. He was mumbling. I said, "It sounds like you cussing, boy. What are you talking about?" And he was just so angry that I took that picture out. So when he wasn't looking, I put the picture back, but he flipped the pictures and found the picture and put it back where it was supposed to be. So I had to take this picture, and he sees it hanging on my wall. I think he wants to take it down, but he won't.
Hopefully, he'll let you hold on to it for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Deshonda. So I have a question. The next question is for you. How do you use your writing and connect it to your business?
Oh, that's good. Because I'm an educator, so I put all of that into my books. Because, like I said, some of the books that I have created, either solely or with other co-authors, is I'm taking that expertise. Like by day, I am an early childhood educator, meaning I run a home-based childcare business. So in my book that I showed y'all today, I'm taking all those concepts and I wrap them up into a book. And the characters, like I say, in that book is my grandkids. So in the book, I'm teaching the kids like concepts they need to know, not just shapes. You know, you need to go beyond. Math is bigger than shapes. You learn about comparing. You know, you learn about things bigger than, less than, greater than. You learn about even mixing the math with the science. So all of that is in the book as a tool that parents can use. Like sometimes we don't think about the simple things as walking through our neighborhood. You know, that's math. You know, is this house taller than the house next to us? They're learning like sense of direction, or this is house is on the left, this house is on the right. So all of that in a book that parents can use a realistic tool just in your own neighborhood. Like to take it back to the colors, you can say, is this house red? Is this house green? Then you compare. How many red houses do you see on this street? You know, do this house have a triangular roof? Or you can take it even further. I wonder what shape is this house? It has four sides. Kids might say a diamond. They may say a square. They may say a rectangle. It's like so many things like that that I'm teaching in the classroom with my students that I have put into a book that parents can use to also teach their kids at home.
I think that's very impactful. How you take that what you teach them in your classroom so they can take it home and continue that learning process even further, and that you use it as a tool, right? So it's not just a tool for your classroom or for the parents. You make an additional income off of it, right? So I love how that works for you. I love how that works for you. So Miss Warren, let me ask you this. What advice would you give an aspiring author who's just getting started on their journey?
Well, I can relate to that. I'm on my journey as well. So I would inspire them by saying, dream big. Put all of your thoughts on paper and don't discount your feelings. And I believe that when you do those things and you formulate your book and you have support by people, right? Because support is important. Not everybody, you know, that first friend that you meet on Facebook sometimes supports you more than your family, but at least you'll have somebody in your corner. I believe that when you are inspired and you start the process of writing a book and you take the determination to put your words or your passion onto paper and to make an impact for other people, that you will get the results that you're looking for. And it's inspiring because words matter and your story is important, and I hope that your all of your dreams come true when you have it on paper, because your book could go all over the world and impact people and change lives. And I think that's important to know that you get to.
Thank you. I agree with that. I think that once you realize the power of your words and the impact
Absolutely.
that it will have on other people, I think sometimes that gives us that extra push to go ahead and get that thing done instead of keeping it to ourselves. Sometimes we like to hold stuff to ourselves. So I think that I agree with that wholeheartedly. So Miss Lacey, let me ask you this. Is there anything you wish you had known before that you know now that you wish you have known when you first started writing?
Um, just sacrificing your time more. Um, well, I'm retired now, so I do have more time than I used to. but just sitting, knowing that you have time to do things. I didn't know it was going to take so much. I thought I could, I thought I would just write a book and it would just sell and it would just go, but it doesn't always work like that.
I agree. I think a lot of authors think, well, I'm gonna write this book and I'm about to get rich.
And everybody's going to like it, and everybody's
Have
going
y'all
to
heard
like
that
me.
story before? I'm gonna write
Yeah,
this book. I'm
Yes.
gonna be a bestseller. I'm about to write this book. I'm gonna be instant famous. That's what a lot of authors think. When we do the Litcon in person, I get in the chair and spin around and be like, that's what they think. They think the money just come from the sky. The people just gonna come from the sky and get the
hmm,
book, and then reality hits. Right?
yeah,
That's why you need lead generation every single day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We need that. We need good community. We need, communities like this, like BPC, like
mm,
Litcon. We need to connect with
Absolutely.
other authors that are in the same
mm,
space. One, for encouragement, right? Because it's lonely out here in these author streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's so much to learn. You think you know it all, but if you think you know it all, you done already lost.
That's
yeah,
right.
You
That
already
part.
lost. So, and then
It's forums
community,
like
there's
this.
nothing like yeah, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. So I think that those are some valuable insights and takeaways that we all need as authors. The support to help each other
mm,
keep going, to get those words out. Your book may not resonate with me or the person next to me, but it might be for my neighbor or somebody down the street. So I think that's very important. So, Ms. DeShawn, the next question is for you. Now, what advice would you give an aspiring author that happens to be an entrepreneur?
I would say for an aspiring author that's an entrepreneur is just focus on what you do. Like, don't compare yourself to nobody else. When I first started, I'm like, oh my God, I don't do all that. Just be who you are, because one of my favorite scriptures, your gift will make room for you. So whatever gift that you have, let that inspire you as you write. Don't worry about the people over there. Like, my gift is childcare. My gift is starting that business, and can't nobody do it the way I can do it. So my advice is just take your gift, and it will make room for you, and just trust and believe that, and just be you, like be whatever features that make you different, the thing that make you, like I'm Deshonda Jennings, nobody can be Deshonda Jennings but me. Like, I take all of that. I take my passion, I take the concept, I'm a mom. Don't be afraid to put that in your books, because so many people may relate to you just because you're a mom. I'm a grandmom, so I put that in my book so people will know exactly who I am, because the people that's connected and for you, God is going to send those people to you. So just write, just
Amen.
don't hold back. You just be transparent in your writing process, and know that your gift will make room for you.
amen.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Amen.
powerful. Powerful. We all have different gifts, right? We all have different talents. We all have different purpose. So if we all tap into our own individual gifts, talents, and purposes, we won't have to worry about nobody else's. We'll be too busy.
That's
We'll be too
true.
busy. So many times we're so busy looking at what's going on around us, we don't even look at and pour into ourselves. So I
Hmm.
think I agree with that wholeheartedly. I remember when we had a conversation, we had your call about your book that we were working on, and Deshonda told me this thing about manifesting money. Remember that?
Yes.
Told me, she said, yeah, I manifest. She manifests. She believes in manifesting stuff. So I was like, I believe that too. So she told me she got this money. She ordered this money and put it around her house. Shonda, okay. I ordered me some money.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So I ordered me some money, and I started putting the money around the house. My daughter was like, "What you finna do with that?" I said, I started telling the concept behind it, and so I told my husband. So he started putting it around the bedroom, around the TV. So we got stacks of money all around this house. So y'all,
Overflow is
yeah,
coming.
overflow.
That's
So
right.
overflow. So thank you for that. I just had to share with that yeah. What you said, it does matter, and I heard you,
Hmm.
and I got me some money, so the overflow is on its way.
Amen.
Declared and decreed.
Yes. Well, thank you, ladies. So let me see. Let me ask you all for one closing tip to share what with our authors listening today?
Invest in yourself. Your best return on investment.
Ooh, I like that. Invest in yourself. In yourself.
Ooh.
Miss Lacey?
Have a sense of humor. Everything is not so rigid.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Have a sense of humor. And Deshonda.
Yes, I gotta bring God in it. Just write the vision, make it plain. Whatever your vision is, write it, and it will manifest. Write it and believe it, it will manifest.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I believe what she says about that manifesting, and making it plain. So that's why I invested in that money, and it's sitting all around the house. So, Deshonda, I gotta ask you one last question, right? So, as a client of Blue Impressions, what unique services or resources do you think we provide that sets us apart from other publishing companies?
Wow. I would just say honestly, first, I'm just so grateful to have even met you and to even now be a client of yours. For me, I say that after once I heard about Lena, after meeting her through collaborations, this is why you have to connect with people. When I had my conversation with her on what my vision was for my journal, my workbook, she got it all organized. I just told her everything that I wanted. Like I know what I want, but sometimes even writing it out, God's gonna put people in your life that's gonna help you take it to another level. So my experience with her is we're gonna have a tool so I'm not having to recreate every time that I do my retreats because I'm also a coach. I don't know if I mentioned that. But as a coach, I wanted to have a tool for business owners because you have to have that plan on how you're going to get to your next level of success. Because when I started this business, I just did it all over the place. But knowing that you need that plan, I was able to sit down with Lena and tell her, hey, Lena, this is exactly what I want. But also, as a mom, I understand the importance of self care. So, in my workbook, not only do I need to have the tools for business owners, entrepreneurs, I need to have it so they can also have a balance, to be able to balance their business and balance their self care. So, she got all of that together, organized. And I'm like, wow, So, if you have not reached out to her, absolutely God gives people creative ideas for those reasons. And I say she could take the idea that you have, just have it written out, tell her this is my vision, and she can make that vision be birthed. So thank you so much for the opportunity to even just be your client. Thank you.
Well, the pleasure is all ours. So let me tell y'all, her workbook is like one of a kind. When she talking business, not just business. Then she talking how to structure your business, right? Then she talks to you about your mindset in your business, right? Because you need that before you can be successful in anything. Then she pours into you about self care on this journey because that is just as important, right? And then she talk about that money all over again. So the book is so powerful. So y'all make sure y'all connect with her. It is amazing, and it's been a pleasure to be able to work with you and make your vision come to light. So we specialize in making sure that whatever it is that you need to connect with your clients, that we are that bridge for you. So we thank you, ladies. It has indeed been a pleasure, and we look forward to connecting with you even more backstage in the little rooms in the breakout rooms. So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, all right, everybody. So, listen, we're about to get ready for something really fun. Okay, so we're going to get ready for something really fun here. But first, this is what I want to do. I want to shout out some of you guys that have been in the chat. I see you guys communicating heavily. Let's see here. We've got Dominique Carson who says, that's true, Chrissy. I don't know what Chrissy put in the chat. Okay, she said, know what? Chrissy says, no one can write your story the way you can. Absolutely. What else? What's some quotable, tweetable, repeatable moments? Go ahead and type that in. We have Lady the Preacher's Wife, Brenda, Thomas, she says it's been a pleasure, speakers, absolutely. Nicole says great job. Marlene says great job, ladies. Thank you for your experiences. Let's see who else do we have here in the chat, guys. And so definitely make sure you communicate in the chat. We're about to do some giveaways. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna pull up Lena. I was gonna pull up my other camera, but what I'll do is instead of pulling up my other camera, I'm gonna use this real quick to just see what y'all are saying in the chat while we get ready to pull up these giveaways. So real quick, let's go ahead and we're gonna bring Lena Payton back to the stage with us. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Yay! And so, okay, well, I'm disappeared, but that's because I had the other camera on. But awesome. So this has been such an exciting experience so far, Lena. I'm gonna pull this off real quick. But I know that we have some amazing giveaways, and I put a form for everybody to fill out. So I don't know if everybody did, but we're gonna go ahead and do our first drawings in a minute. So what are some of the items that we have as giveaways?
Ooh, so we got some gas. Who don't need some gas? We got some gas. We got some food, and we got some coffee. Some coffee. So we got a
Ooh.
gas card, and we got Amazon cards. So we got a gas card, we got a Starbucks, and then we got one of them cards that got like the multiple restaurants on it. You know what I'm talking about? You know how they
Oh,
make the gift card? Yeah,
nice.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, yes. We got a little bit of everything. We got a little bit of everything.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do a drawing of a few of those right now, guys. And if you did not get a chance to submit your name, then you will get another chance in a minute. But now it's a little bit too late. Also, please do not submit your name more than once, okay? Because that slows down the process. We got to go in and then sort it because we only add one name at a time. We want to make it fair to everybody. So you do not need to resubmit your information after we do this drawing either. All you need to do is just simply submit your information one time, right? Now, this is the thing. Also, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Another thing that I also want to encourage you guys is set up your profiles. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but there is right like on the, let me see, where we at? If I point to this way, no, that way. Yes. On the top, there's an area where you can see like an icon. It might look something like your picture. And so if you want to customize your whole profile, you can. What's cool about customizing your profile is that while you guys are communicating in the chat, people can see a picture of you, which pictures are so powerful, right? But you can also add your LinkedIn profile. So if you want people to connect with you beyond the conference, they can simply click on your LinkedIn. If you do not have a LinkedIn, then this is an encouragement for you guys to start getting up with the LinkedIn times. Because right now, I'm telling you guys, LinkedIn is a huge platform, especially for our authors. One of the things that I heard one of the young ladies speak about is, Lena, when we finally write that book and we're expecting to have, this big success, and sometimes we have challenges selling it. Well, you need to be on these platforms, and these platforms are going to be where your customers are. But there's also a trick and a technique to it all. Okay, well, look, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my screen because I got the names, and we're going to pick two of the giveaways. So what are the two that you want to start off with?
Let's do the gas. People
The
like gas.
gas.
It's high. Here in Alabama, it's high, so I know people can use some gas. Let's do that one first, and
Okay.
then yeah, and then we'll do
Okay.
Amazon. People like Amazon
Oh,
too.
yes, they do. Listen, we gonna need that. We need that. We need them gas cards too. Y'all know
Yes,
with the
yes.
elections, honey, they gonna be an influx of the gases. So we need to make sure that we taking care of that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and spin for the win. Hold on one sec. Let me make sure. I forgot to see if I was sharing. I don't know if it's gonna be it, but if it does, then great. If not, so we're gonna spin for the win for the gas card. Let's see.
Let's see. Let's see.
Drum roll. All right. Congratulations, Yolanda Wesley. Now she must be here. So this is the only caveat. So is Yolanda here? If Yolanda is not here, she done missed out on the win. Is Yolanda here? Somebody, I don't know. She got to type in the chat real quick. Let us know. If you guys see that Yolanda is in the house, let us know. If she is here, she has won the gas card. So we're going to go ahead. Is Yolanda still here, y'all? Is Yolanda here? Okay, and what's going to be our next giveaway?
Let's go Amazon.
And write that down for me, Lena, that Yolanda won the... Okay, all right, let's go for Amazon. Drum roll. Nishika Melton. Congratulations, Nishika. Is Nishika still here? Is Nishika still here? So that is the thing. Because this is 100% free, this drawing did not cost any money. What we only ask is that you are still here to win it, okay? So hopefully Nishika and Yolanda are still here. I don't see anybody. I don't see them typing in the chat, though, Chad. I don't know. I don't know, Lena. They don't look like they here. Look like they logged in and left. Logged in and left on this good Saturday. Lord. Okay. Well, look, we have some keynotes I know that are coming up. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see what time it is. Yeah. Don't we got some keynotes that's supposed to be? We have a keynote that's supposed to be coming on. Yeah, in like 2 minutes. So we have a keynote. Yep. And what I'm going to do, though, is while we wait on this keynote to join in, not sure. But hopefully our keynote will be joining us right now in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and play a couple more commercials for y'all. And yes, we shall be right back.
Step into the vivid streets of innovation with Blue Impressions Publishing. We're the pros in creating books with purpose, helping authors, coaches, and consultants to actualize their dreams. From custom coloring books that speak to your clients, to workbooks that set off fresh concepts, and self-help books that navigate your personal journey. Fire up your creativity and increase your income with Blue Impressions. Find out more at yourartisticexpressions.com, where words and art meet.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Kaisha D. Ford with my latest collection of poems and short stories. While I want to connect you through different experiences and reflections that I share in the various stories to shed light not only on the painful but those joyous breakthroughs and offer a sense of inspiration that's impactful to you. To learn more and to purchase your copy today, please visit my website. I look forward to seeing you at Litcon Virtual Conference. Be sure to join us. Thank you.
Dive into Land of Quail's house and explore your passions through writing by Dr. Dawn Menga. Presented by Blue Impressions Publishing, this outstanding journal encourages storytelling. Dive into your thoughts, unveil hidden wisdom, and unleash your true passions. For writers and entrepreneurs, Land of Quail's house is your dependable guide. Start your transformative journey at teamlitcon.org/Dawn Menga. Get your copy today and ignite your passion.
Immerse in the compelling memoir, Universal Order by Cornell Offspring Williams. This memoir contains 20 years of resilience and redemption, depicting triumph over adversity. Filled with raw emotion and self-reflection, it showcases powerful transformation. Explore forgiveness and personal growth. It's a testament to human spirit and a beacon of determination. Universal Order inspires self-discovery. Order your copy today at teamlitcon.org/offspring, presented by Blue Impressions Publishing.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Kaisha D. Ford with...
Hey there, book lovers and journaling babes. I am your girl, Nicole Monique, the founder of The Power of Sunshine. I created Unlocking Your Inner Sunshine, which is a healing journal and workbook to assist with unleashing your childhood pain, revealing your adolescent trauma, and healing the adult you to discover your brightness. The thing that sets this book apart from other books is that not only have I experienced every section in the book, it will provide you with relatable stories, the tools you need to succeed, and the guidance to overcome obstacles. You can find this book at teamlitcom.org/Nicole Monique. And don't miss out on an incredible opportunity to see me at the Litcon Virtual Authors Expo on February 3rd. Happy healing, everyone.
All right, it looks like we were able to get our speaker on the line, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Lena so she can properly introduce.
All right, y'all. So we are in for a treat. We have Mr. Josiah Jean I can't say his name today. So Josiah is an accomplished author with 5 published books under his belt, including a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Through his powerful speaking engagement, he has been making a profound impact in lives both nationally and internationally. Now, he has a long list of awards and accomplishments, and I'm sure he's going to touch bases on that, but his influence extends to major media outlets such as Yahoo Finance. He was featured as one of the top 10 inspirational African Americans in 2021. Josiah has also been recognized by notable platforms like LA Wire, along with renowned figures such as Ariana Grande, Little Nas X, and This Is 50 with the G Unit brand. Most recently, he has been associated with the same Heart of Hollywood. Josiah's exceptional work as an author and speaker continues to inspire and uplift people worldwide, leaving a lasting impact on individuals from all walks of life. Let's welcome him to the virtual stage.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Lena. It is amazing. It's a blessing to be a part of this Litcon conference. My name is Josiah Jean Pierre. I am the founder of JP Credit Solutions, and what we do is we help people obtain the tools that they need to be equipped, empowered, and elevate fully into whom God created them to be, with no limits and no excuses attached at all. My journey as an author started 7 years ago at the age of 23. But before I was an author, I was in the stage as a speaker at the age of 13. Just 17 years ago, at the age of 13, I was hitting the big stage as a speaker, and it impacted lives throughout the nation. And my journey started off with the setbacks. I was told by educators, Josiah, give up, drop out, you won't amount to anything. Teachers supposed to teach us were telling us to give up and throw in a towel. I had disability, epilepsy, seizures. I had an IEP in school, special education, and I was told by peers, your goal of becoming an author or speaker or influencer will never happen for you. What's the point of you believing in that? And I had a decision to either believe what they told me or believe something different about myself. And being a man of faith, being a preacher's kid, knowing the word of God, I just chose to believe what God spoke over my life. And today I want to speak to you guys about, really, if you're an aspiring author, how do you leverage your book? How do you get your book to the right audience? And how do you have impact? And this is the tools that what I did is going to help you in this process. First, if you have a pen and paper, I want you to write it down. First thing I want you to do first is capture the vision. You have a book within you. Someone's connected to your story. Someone's connected to your yes. Someone's connected to your reason why you said yes to this journey. And if you are inspired as an author or interested in writing a book, there's a book within needs to be released. Write the vision. In this journey of life of me speaking at 13 years old, telling myself, hey, I'm going to change lives throughout the nation. I'm going to impact lives. I'm going to write books. I'm going to go ahead and go international and national and etc. I was told by people that would never happen. People seen the setbacks of my life and said, Josiah, it's not possible. People seen the setbacks of my life and said, Josiah, it will never happen for you. And in order for you to get to the place of saying, you know what, I'm going to be this person who writes a book and execute, this is what you have to do. Write the vision. Write the vision and make it plain. Write down, right, who's your audience? Who's your book related to? And second thing I want you to do is also, I want you to see it before you see it. I always tell people this, if you see it before you see it, you will then see it. That's called faith. I'm going to believe it before I see it. Because if I have to see it to believe it, I may never believe it. So faith requires you to believe it before you can actually see it. But in the process of believing it before you see it, it's going to require you to write down the vision, make it plain. I had to tell myself every single day, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to change lives throughout the nation. I'm going to impact regions. I was featured on Yahoo Finance with Ice Cube as one of the top 10 inspirational African Americans of 2021. This young dude who was told to give up, drop out, is being featured in major outlets. I was recognized as, before I turned 30 last August, I was recognized as 30 under 30 with Ariana Grande and Little Nas X. I was also recognized, I was also a nominee of Forbes 30 under 30. And I'm saying all this to say this because there are some of us in this room who have goals and desires right releasing a book. But the question is, you ask yourself, am I qualified to write a book? Do I have a message? Do I have a story to tell? Well, what if they don't support me? What if they don't believe in me? What if they told me, no, I cannot do it? Reject those voices. If something is urging you inside of you and says, you know what, I gotta write this book, write it. If something's urging you and saying, you know what, I gotta go ahead and release this book within me, write it. Release it and trust God with the rest. When I got to this authorship journey, I got done speaking at a national conference at 21 years old called ASHA, which stands for American School Health Association, out of Kansas City, Missouri. And someone came to me afterwards and said, Josiah, have you thought about writing a book? I said, no. You should write a book. You should write everything you have right now on paper. I'm like, I'm cool. I'll think about it. And I prayed about it. I was like, God, you gave me a gift to speak. You gave me a gift to impact lives through the words from speaking. If this is your will for me to write a book, I'll write a book. My first book came out, which is called The Power of Your Words. How the words you speak will determine what you believe about yourself, the mindset that you have, and who you attract to your circle. And how if we're not careful with the words that we speak, we will find ourselves leaving curses instead of blessings. My second book came out in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic, called What Is Your Why Behind the Drive. And everything, my whole title of my book is a self-help motivational book about my journey, my life stories, and really impacts that's been going on. And so in 2020, I released my second book called What Is Your Why Behind the Drive. It talks about what motivates you to keep on going no matter what. What's that thing inside that says, you know what, I cannot give up because someone's counting on me. And this was the book that got me to major media outlets in 2021. New York Weekly, Yahoo Finance, LA Wire, This Is 50, the G Unit brand. And I wrote this book because a lot of people have a why, but they don't have a drive. And if you don't have a why that can sustain you in difficult times, you're gonna give up. If you don't have a why that says, you know what, despite the storm, despite the obstacle, despite the hurdle, I'm gonna keep on going on. If you don't have a why that is firm and rooted, you're gonna give up in difficult times. I always tell people, if the foundation of a home is not solid, when a storm comes, it's gonna fall down. If your why is not solid and firm, and you don't actually stand rooted in that why, when the storm comes, you're gonna give up. This authorship journey is not easy. This authorship journey is not for the weak. And I don't want if you're an aspiring author out there, I don't want you to think I'm gonna write a book, I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know what? People come by this book. It's not like that. I promise you, it's not. Your goal has to be about impact. Your vision has to be about people. When your drive is because I want to change lives, the blessings will come after that. I didn't think about Amazon bestseller. I wrote my third book called Our Cry for Justice, and I'm an activist here in Seattle, Washington. I'm in the front lines and sitting in government and buildings and talking to government around systemic issues that's going on in society today. And I wrote a poetry book called Our Cry for Justice. And that book came out with Amazon #1 bestseller in 10 different categories. And I share this to say this: you never know who's watching. Plant that seed and trust God with the rest. Plant that seed and trust God that He will do everything else after that. Say yes and leave it to God for the rest. My third book is called Come Back from Betrayal. This was a collaboration book that I was a part of with Taria, A Vision of Vaughn. And it's a collaboration book of authors throughout the country sharing the story of betrayal and how their story is being used now for good and where stages and being impactful and stuff like that. And I always tell people, your mess can be turned into a message. Your test can be turned into a testimony. And your misery can be turned into a ministry. If you are an aspiring author, I'm going to show you how to leverage your book in a way where you can get your book in the right hands of the audience and your potential buyers First thing, the second thing you have to do is this. If you know your audience, tell people around you, you got a book coming out. And this is what I did. For my third book, Our Cry for Justice, I told folks my book's coming out in 6 months. Hey, can you go ahead and support my vision of writing the third book? At this point in my life, there was already so much impact that was happening by the time I got to the third book. So no matter what I told people, people said, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna support, I'm gonna buy it," even if they didn't have the copy yet of the book. They just know it's coming, and they have to wait till it comes. My fifth book is called My Hurt Taught Me, but My Pain Motivated Me. This is my book right here. It is my life story and my life journey. I am a 3-time suicide attempt survivor. And I'm like, God, it's only you. And I wrote this book because I'm also this individual who grew up without a father. At the age of 5, my father said, never call me dad, I'm not your dad, call me pastor. I had a father wound. But I still choose to believe in God. I was like, God, you know, help me, guide me to the dream life path. And God, I want to go after you, and I cannot allow what a man does to determine who you are. So at 5 years old, I had a father wound. And I grew up believing this man who's supposed to be a pastor was not my dad. And I've been calling him pastor for 27 years. Since the age of 5, for 25 years, since the age of 5 years old. I'm 30 now. Hey, pastor, how you doing, pastor? Never called him dad. Never heard him say, I love you. Never heard him say, I'm proud of you. Never showed up to my games. Never came to my college graduations, high school graduations. But I just call him pastor. And that was a wound that I had to realize how to let it go in difficult times. How can I walk into my freedom? And before I got married to my wife, we're married for a year now. Before I got married to my wife, I had to go back to my father and forgive my father. I was like, you know what? I'm about to get married. My legacy is counting me to be healed. My wife deserves a healed husband. I'm going to heal from this father wound. This book came out. My Hurt Taught Me, Pain Motivated Me. This book came out. It is now been submitted for movies, ready to be picked up in the movies. And I'm saying this to say this. You never know who's impacted by your story. You never know who needs to hear your story. Don't question if you're able to go ahead and release that book. Release that book within you. You got a big support team right here. You have a big support team who will support you in this whole process and guide you this whole process. The third thing I want you to understand and know from my aspiring authors is this. Surround yourself with people who will be truthful with you in this journey. And I think a lot of times, a lot of us authors have been given a lot of hopes and dreams that were misinformation that was not realistic. And I want to be transparent with you as if you're an author, or even if you're an author right now, or you're writing a book right now, or you have a book coming out, I want to tell you this. The keys to your next level falls on you to have faith in God that He will do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we can ask for or even imagine. I didn't become this successful author, this speaker who got in big brands just because I said I got a book out, here it is. I became this person where I was at because I put God in the driver's seat of my everything that I do. My speaking platforms, I give it all to God. Even when I go speak and I'm in conferences and stuff like that, I give it all to God. When I'm at doing book signing events, I give it all to God. And you guys, and the biggest thing I want to say to you guys is this. Understand that your gifts will make room for you. Your gifts will make. Don't worry about how is it going to happen. Trust God that He'll make it happen. Don't worry about, well, what if no one's come through? Trust God, He will. People will come through. If you want to be an author, and you're an aspiring author out there who's like, what's next when the book comes out? I need you to focus on these 3 E's. Empower yourself mentally to believe this book will change lives. As an execution coach, I need you to execute and walk out like you're already an author. Walk like an author. Talk like an author. Speak those things as if they are. I am an author. I have a book coming out in 6 months. I am an author. I'm about to go speak in platforms. I am an author. I am about to go ahead and go international. I am an author. Speak it as if it's already happening and watch what happens after that. I am also a nominee of Author of the Year in South Africa. I got nominated for an award out of South Africa to go ahead and receive this recipient award as Author of the Year. But I've been speaking international last year. I was speaking, hey, I'm about to go international. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I was like, God, I want international. And the Bible says He will give you the desires of your heart. God, I'm going international. God, I'm gonna be nominated international. I want my books to be impacting lives international. God, I'm going international. I'm speaking it as if it's already happening. And July, I'm going to South Africa to receive this nomination award as Author of the Year. And I'm saying this to say this to everybody out there who's listening, who's watching, is this. Do not stress about what's next. Focus on what's right now. Do not stress about how is it going to happen. Just release it and take step by step. Before we worry about step 2, take step 1. Release that book. Before we worry about step 5, take step 2. Promote that book. Before you even worry about steps 20, take step 3. Getting to the right hands of your audience. If you know, and I right now have another book coming out called Dear Black Boy, which is a book of affirmation for Black boys and mental health. Talking about it's important to go see a therapist. And I'm in the schools telling the schools, hey, I have a book coming out for Black children, and I give them a manuscript, and they said, look, can we go ahead and use your book for our plays that we do in school about Black education? I said, most definitely, but the book is not even out yet. And I have a contract signing with 3 districts for them to cut me a check to have the books in their schools, to go ahead and use this book as their curriculum for Black education, for mental health, and etc. Don't give up on you. Bet on you, put you first, put God first, and watch God do the rest. Thank you.
Oh man, that was powerful. Did y'all enjoy that? Y'all show him some love in the chat. Show him some love in the chat. He gave I don't even know which tip to start with first. So let me start with we be rooted in your why. If you don't remember your why, you're gonna lose. You won't have the drive to do what you need to do, right? And then your goal should be the impact you're trying to make with your book. So I think that those were some amazing takeaways. Those were some key points that we need to keep in the forefront of why we do what we do. And I think that if we do that, we may make some way. All right. So thank you again. Make sure you guys connect with Josiah and follow him, connect with him, hit him up and I think you can send messages, connect with him there as well. And then of course, he has his website and contact information on display as well. All right. So I think up next we have coming to the stage Mr. Cornell Williams.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. How are you today? How you doing today? You good?
Hey, I'm wonderful. How you doing,
Okay.
Selena?
All right.
I'm gonna
I'm
put
doing I'm
this little
doing
puppy
good. I'm
down.
doing all right. So all right, Cornell. So go ahead and tell the people who you are, give them a little brief introductions, and then we'll jump off into some questions.
Yes, ma'am. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Arthur Offspring, down in Florida. I'm an author. I write books. I wrote a book called Universal Order with Blue Publishing, and me and Lena's like brothers and sisters. Like I love her. I love everything that they do here. And my story is about me. Host Mr. Pierre just took the words. I just love the way he just painted everything that I believe. I believe if you don't give up and you believe in yourself, ain't nothing you can accomplish. So my book is showing of all the things I experienced, like really experienced and walked through to get to where I am now. It's the self-help book for young people. It's a book that can inspire older people. You know what I mean? Because I had a long history of being bad as a kid, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me as a person. It was me learning to find myself. And once finding myself, I wanted to present it in a book to the world because I could see, dang, I took this journey and I made it to where I am. And there's so many people that can be inspired. And, you know, like the brother just said, Pierre, before, you have to put your work as a purpose for others. And that's what I believe in. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let me ask you about your journey. So can you tell them a little bit about your writing journey and how you got to the place you are now?
Yes, ma'am. I started my journey oh 2007. I met this brother from Atlanta, Georgia. He go by the name of Goldmouth Fam Goon in Atlanta, and me and him was like next door neighbors, incarcerated, and that brother was encouraging me, and I was encouraging him, and we was telling each other all these stories about, you know, being with millionaires and all the things we was doing on the street in the music industry. And one day I was like, bro, you know, we need to tell some people in the free world about this stuff, you know, inspire people with our stories. And we both began writing. You know, I wrote my autobiography, and he ventured off and wrote about young Jeezy. And that's where my story began. My writing career began. I'm currently working on a fitness book, a cookbook, you know. Yeah, so I started out there, um, and the journey has been amazing because I'm helping people, you know.
Hmm. So I know specifically you're helping a particular group of people. So tell the people about that.
Yes, yes, ma'am, no doubt. I'm helping people that's coming home from prison. You know, me and Miss Lena Payton Webb, we created, it's called Rise and Restoration. It's to help people coming from prison adjust back to society. I met this guy from Alabama, Mobile to be exact. He had served 30 years in prison, and you know, it popped. Everything happened when God has something for you and a purpose driven for you. If you really, you know, can see your place is right there. And I'm the type of person, I don't give up. If God put me in a place, I'm gonna stay in that place and not till I see that seed grow. So this brother here, he did all of this time incarcerated, and I'm his mentor, I'm his coach. I want to help him adjust back to society because I know after I did nearly 20 years, nobody was there, you know, that really understood that I needed to help me understand where I am. I didn't know. It's like a whole fairyland just opened up. Don't know what cell phones really are, how they really work. Don't know how to adjust back into the working society. So, you know, I dug down in myself and became a man in those aspects. And it was challenging, just like my book, writing it was challenging. But you know, I'm a man. I always be up for the challenge in every aspect. So that's what I do with the Restoration and Rise platform. It's an outreach to help people cope back into society. So yeah, y'all look out for that. You could go to Facebook and find it there. um, you can find me at Cornell Arthur Offspring on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram at Sleeping Giant 3. You can find me on TikTok at Sleeping Giant 460. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what I like about what you're doing is you've taken your experience, you put it in this book. Now you're using that book to help
Mhm.
impact the lives of other people who had similar paths as yourself, right? So I
Yeah,
know you're
yeah,
speaking to people now. You're talking to young
yeah,
adults, people who've just recently
yeah.
been released. So you've really taken this tool, which is your book, and leveraged it to tell your story, right, to inspire other people, correct?
No doubt about that. And my story is really, really deep, man. I was locked down in a little small 8 by 10 room for nearly my whole time in prison, like almost 15 years. My family couldn't come visit me. I couldn't come out of that room. And it was all because, I wasn't a bad person. I have a heart. I have a heart of just really compassion. And I seen this old man, like 80 years old, getting beat by the guards for no reason. And I rebelled against that. And they put me in that room and never let me out. And, it was making an example. I count everything joy. And I believe God was involved with that, because in that room is where I found myself. I took all the gold teeth out my mouth. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Cornell, who are you? You know what I mean? And I started every day coming up with routines to understand my emotions, to try to master my emotions, know how to make myself happy when I'm feeling sad, because I was really in a lot of dark, depressive states in that cell. I had at least 8 to 10 family members pass away, couldn't come to the funerals. And yeah, just that battle of wanting to be better, you know what I mean? Because I was raised, thinking that my way of fast money and girls and the trap lifestyle, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is all I know. And it wasn't no peace there. I was having fun, but the peace is when I found myself.
Hmm.
So my book is basically showing brothers and sisters, the youth, how to find themselves, how to correct those steps.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we know that book has so many lives to
I
touch.
think
We
this
know
computer is slowing
everybody, I mean,
down.
everybody that's watching this
Lena,
knows
you with
somebody who
me?
has, yep, I'm here. So we all know somebody who's been where you've been, right? If it wasn't us. So, we encourage the viewers and the listeners to, if you know somebody, let them connect with Cornell, let them, get that support system they may need. And kudos to you for being able to use your story to help other people, transform their lives in this phase of their life. So it's
Yes,
been a
ma'am.
pleasure, Cornell. And we'll see you on the other side of the screen in the next
Yes,
room.
ma'am.
All right. Take care. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Thank you so much. Enjoy
You're
y'all day,
welcome.
y'all.
You're welcome. All right. So yeah, y'all connect with Cornell. We all know somebody. We all know somebody who's been there, who needs a mentor to help them along their journey on the outside. So that is what his purpose is in this day. So let's help him reach his clients, those that need his help. So up next we have our next keynote speaker, Miss Kaisha Ford. She is a poet. Poetry has given her a sense of comfort and peace to help navigate challenging times in her life. With a growing understanding that others could benefit from her poems and short stories as much as she has started to speak at various groups, encouraging audiences to unleash their true potential, holding them back from pursuing their purpose and obtaining and maintaining their power and peace. Her latest collection, Speaking My Words with a Pen, Volume 2, the final narrative, offers a unique but familiar perspective on the different situations relating to Black history and education, love, relationships, self worth, and confidence that we experience in our community, households, and life in general. Y'all welcome Miss Ford to this virtual stage.
Thank you, Lena. And I'll tell you, when I get feedback from patrons and colleagues, there's one word that sticks out, and it's inspiring. And to be completely honest, I will never imagine in this lifetime that word will be used to describe me. Because I'm a private person. I'm not the loudest one in the room. I'm not big on being the center of attention, and I am my own biggest critic. But I also had to battle a lot of negativity and criticism for others because I wasn't living up to their standards. And this is when I started doubting myself, started questioning myself, and I actually turned to the power of the pen. So today I'm going to share a snippet of my story and share some insight into what and how to overcome that battle of self rejection and not limiting your abilities to empower and focus on your purpose to get what I call the three P's, which is your potential, your power, and your peace. So I have a big heart. Again, it's something that I've been criticized for, and I'll give you a couple of examples. I was born and raised on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And in middle school, or elementary school rather, I had members of the city council who came to the school and they were talking about a new interactive museum that was being built. And they needed more funds because they had a grant, but it only covered the foundation. So they were coming to the school in order to help ask for donations. And I was excited because we didn't have anything close to this experience for kids on the coast. So I was excited and I was looking forward to it. And I have two older sisters. And by this time, they had gone off to college. So it was just my parents and I at home. And there was they had a big penny bank. And I mean, this thing was tall, full of pennies. And I was sitting in my room one evening and I'm looking over at this penny bank. And I was like, man, it's a lot of pennies. And no one touched it because this thing was dusty. And so I'm thinking, you know what? Those pennies can go towards the museum. Now, I do apologize because I didn't ask for permission. That was on me. But I remember going and getting a sandwich Ziploc bag and I cut a little slit in the top of the piggy bank and I started digging those pennies out. And I don't know how many times I went back and forth. It was a few times, but I would take those little sandwich bags to school. Long story short, our class raised the most money. Other classes raised $10, $30. We raised over $300 thanks to these pennies. And I remember one evening, my dad came into the room and he moved the bank just to go into the closet. And he noticed that it wasn't full as it was before. And so I sat up and I was like, Dad, this is a new museum that's about to be built. I'm excited about it. I donated some of the pennies, so that they could raise funds in order to finish the construction. My joy was killed when he looked at me and he was like, well, how you know that we didn't need those pennies? And I was like, oh, right. Another example is playing basketball in school. And I played throughout my school years. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was a pretty decent player. And one particular game, I had a really good game, over 20 points, 10 rebounds, a few assists, and one turnover. And I remember after the game, everyone, God, it was a really good game. Y'all played awesome. Well, what about that one turnover? And so I went through this difficult phase where I felt as if I was a big disappointment, a big failure, where my efforts, the things that I accomplished, the things that I was excited to share, it wasn't good enough. Yeah, you have a big heart, you donated that, but you gave to this, but yeah, you had a good game, but. So the second difficult phase was in middle school when another reality set in. And I had two beliefs. The first was that all Blacks supported each other because of our history. We should always come together and raise awareness for different efforts, support. The second belief was that racial discrimination, racial attacks, that was something that my parents, my grandparents had to deal with. But by the time that I was coming up, I didn't have to deal with it. That was a thing of the past. Needless to say, both of these beliefs were tested and proven to be untrue. I remember in sixth grade, I had a social studies teacher who looked like me. And y'all, for whatever reason, she didn't like me whatsoever. And I promise you, I was a good student. I got good grades. I wasn't disruptive or talkative, but she just had an attitude. And I remember she told me one time that I wasn't going to amount to anything. So I was like, oh, okay. And then the next year, my reading teacher, who also looked like me, she used to write, or we used to write journals in her class for whatever our little hearts desire. And this particular year, I got exposed to poetry. I had a good friend who wrote, and so I decided to give it a try, and wrote my first poem about one of my favorite R&B singers who ended up passing away that year. And so during this semester, I was walking home from school with a couple of friends, and we were walking on the side of the road, not in the street, when a car pulled up behind us. And it was three guys and a girl, and they called us out our name, called us the N word, and told us to get out the street. And I remember experiencing different emotions simultaneously, from irritated to angry, sad, confused. And I remember going home, and I didn't say anything until the next day when I got into my reading class and I wrote in my journal. And the teacher just so happened to read the entry this day. Now, she had never read my entries the entire semester, but she wanted to read it that day. And when she finished reading, she looked at me and asked, "Well, did this really happen?" And I was like, part of me wanted to say, you know what? No, I just made it up. But the other part just said, yes, ma'am, it actually happened. And I remember that for the remainder of that year, or at least at that period, where I became outright, I became frustrated, isolated, and guarded. And at the end of that year, I heard that teacher telling my mom that I was going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. And remember when I said that I wrote that one poem, just to try it out. It wasn't until the next year when I started writing poetry on a consistent basis. And that next poem was reflecting on the past year. And I liked it because after I wrote, I was filled with a sense of relief and freedom because I was able to express that anger. I was able to express that frustration and confusion that overwhelmed me the previous years. And I knew that I could write and no one could judge me. No one could say I was a disappointment. They couldn't call out my flaws. I didn't feel like a failure. No one could overlook the expectations that I had set for myself. And it gave me a sense of peace. It gave me a sense of comfort. And so when it was time to go to college, I was ready because I saw it as an opportunity to have a change of scenery, an opportunity to escape the negativity. Now that I found the enjoyment of speaking my words with the pen. So when my environment and surroundings changed, I capitalized on it because a change was needed. The first step was I had to make the declaration that I was going to stop doubting myself. Remembering when I said that I was my biggest critic, sometimes it's us who puts the most pressure on ourselves because of that inner voice of fear and self-doubt. So I want to leave you with some takeaways to utilize that has helped me become the woman that you are looking and listening to today. And that first point is just reflection. Those quiet moments to yourself are key. And it's during those moments where you're asking yourself, what is it that you want to do that brings you joy? What is it that you want to be known for? What goals do you have that you want to achieve and accomplish? And the key word is you, not anybody else. This is your moment. That second, like everyone is saying, surround yourself with those supportive influences. When you're asking yourself those questions, you don't need the disapproval. or someone trying to make you confused to the point where you become unfocused. There are going to be things that are unclear initially, but you don't need anything or anyone to steer you away from you eventually seeing the clear picture. You want to have those supportive forces that's encouraging you, pushing you. They may give you some constructive feedback, but that's something that you can utilize in order to improve upon that's beneficial to you. And that last point is just finding that confidence within yourself. I want to recite a poem that I wrote a few years ago, and it's actually called The Confidence Within Me. It goes calm, collect, creative, beautiful, and smart. Those are some words that describe me. And when I look in a mirror, that's what I tell myself. I'm not worried about if others agree. I've been through some trials and tribulations. And yes, I did struggle here and there, but I never once wanted to give up, not with my determination and a lot of prayer. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I have made some mistakes in the past. With my temper, I would jump to conclusions. Now I handle my disputes with class. People think they know what's best for you. I'm sorry, but have they been in my shoes? They are so quick to judge and form conclusions. That's when my intentions are misconstrued. I surround myself with positive energy. Don't want to hear negativity all the time. Always complaining and fussing about your issues when I have my own problems of mine. I do have my close friends, but I also keep some enemies near because when I tell them they're not a factor in my life, I don't want to sound too insincere. I, myself, am proud of my achievements. I don't want to live for your acknowledgments anymore, especially if it's not sincere and from the heart. I don't want it to feel like you're completing a chore. I don't want or need your approval. I will reach my goals without your consent. When it comes to achieving what I want, I give it my all plus 110%. I am calm, I am creative, beautiful, and smart. Those are some words that describe me. When I look in the mirror, that's what I tell myself, but you don't have to agree. So when you are reflecting and having those quiet moments, block all those negative voices around you outside. Say to yourself that you can do and achieve whatever you set your mind to. This is when you have the supporters that believe in you as well. It enriches your confidence. It enriches your self-esteem. It's justification for what you already know. Remember, the significance of your greatness lies within you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to Litcon and Miss Lena for this opportunity. I encourage you to visit my website, kaishadford.com, and follow me on social media. Please stay empowered, stay focused, and stay blessed. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That poem was everything, wasn't it? Thank you, Kaisha. Let me tell you, I loved especially the points, the 3 points, um, the reflections. I think that is so important as an author and just as a person in general, right? I think that'll take us so far. And then that supportive influence. That's like something we've been hearing repeatedly throughout this whole conference, right? So get around the people that's going to support you in this journey because it's not easy, and then to do what we're doing, it takes confidence. It takes confidence. So all 3 of those points, I love it. They're so valuable and they are so relevant. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all show us some love in the chat. Show us some love in the chat. So our next speaker coming to the virtual stage is Miss Marlene Deroso. Marlene is an effort to express and cope, with her emotions. She has transformed her daily infertility journal entries into her first published work, It'll Happen by 30. This book beautifully captures the intricate and emotional journey of building a family, documenting the day-to-day experience. For the past 21 years, Marlene has been happily married to her husband, Kevin, and together they have been blessed with 4 sons. Although her personal fertility journey has reached its conclusion, Marlene remains driven by a desire to assist others facing similar challenges. Marlene's mission encompasses sharing her own story, offering coaching and guidance on family building strategies that increases the chances of pregnancy and providing insights on navigating life after experiencing loss. Through her work, she aims to uplift and support her fellow women, helping them find strength and hope along their unique journeys. Y'all, welcome to the screen, Miss Marlene Deroso.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Lena, for having me here today. Thank you so much to all the participants that are in the chat. You guys are very engaging, and believe it or not, as nervous as I think we all are, seeing all of the wonderful engagement and supporting comments from the chat is helping. So y'all keep it up. Thank you so much for that. Like Miss Lena said, my name is Marlene DeRosso. I am here today to talk to everyone about a little bit about my writing journey and what inspired me to do so, and how I can help other people that are currently on any journey that they have in their life, because you never know where life is going to take you. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult to navigate that journey, one, when it's unexpected, and two, when you don't even know how or if it'll end. So I'm here to talk about that today. So a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida, to Haitian immigrant parents. And I come from a huge family. I have five brothers and two sisters. So needless to say, I've always wanted to have a large family, of my own. I've always been that family member that just loved the children. I've always helped out with my cousins. I loved babysitting. I just always knew it was in my plan to start and have my own big family. So to continue that a little bit, as I was growing up, my parents were really, really focused on making sure that we all got an education. And the significance of this is that although not everybody wants the same things in life, they always felt like if you have a decent education, the sky's the limit for you. So with that, always being able to excel in school, focus on doing the right thing, just being an overall human being who's educated was always something that I always had in the back of my mind as well. So the reason why that's important is because I went on to establish everything else in my life. I graduated high school, obviously. Then I went to get my bachelor's degree, went on to get my master's degree. And because I like education so much, I'm currently torturing myself, but it's not really torture, that's just a joke, by pursuing my doctorate degree. So, God willing, everything continues to go as planned. I'll be defending my dissertation this summer. So, you guys pray for me on that. Now, the reason I bring that up is because, on one end, as I was growing up and focused on my education, it allowed me to open myself up to so much more, right? So, as a person who didn't count on encountering infertility, in my brain, I'm doing everything in order and I'm doing everything the way I should be, right? I met my husband, Kevin's, as Ms. Lena said. I was really young when we met him. We've been together, been married 21 years. It'll be 22 years this year. And one of the best things about meeting my husband was it allowed me to continue me being on my nurture path, because my husband had a son, or has a son. His name is Richard. I always refer to him as my bonus baby, the one who didn't give me any labor pains, right? And he's just been the best thing ever. He's been in my life since he was 2. So let's set that stage. I'm married, right? We had the wedding. I'm helping raise this beautiful young man. My husband and I traveled. We did everything. It's just always been a fantastic auntie. I am so in love with my nieces and nephews. I always called them the other set of children that I didn't birth. So shout out to my sisters and brothers for blessing me with them. So just living my life, doing everything as I thought I should, and in the order, I guess, I thought I should. But that still lingering thing kept in the back of my mind, right? And also, because I was a person of faith, there's a Bible verse that's always been very important to me, and it's very significant. And it's Jeremiah 29:11. Without having to quote it verbatim, it basically says that God knows the plans that He has for all of us. And His plans for us are for us to prosper and to not hurt us. So I always kept that in the back of my mind as I strive to create, or expand a family for myself. So in the meantime, I was succeeding at everything else, right? My husband and I had bought our house. I had landed my first job, which I'm happy to say I'm actually still with the same company. I started off as the payroll manager, and I've been able to get numerous promotions, went up the ranks in my leadership role to be able to mentor the young women and men that are, working with me and coming behind me. And I took a page out of the book of the three mentors that I had on my career path, because it's important to, always have your hand out and pull others up with you, because no matter what you encounter in life, you can't do it alone, right? As much as we would want to think that, it's just not possible. So you have to surround yourself, like the other speakers have mentioned, with people who have like common goals like you, and people who also want to help believe and motivate you while you're on your path, so you turn around and do the same thing. It's about reciprocation. So and establishing that stage, we kept going on. I'm excelling in my career. My husband and I's relationship are great. We're raising our son Richard and that, interacting with the family, just doing things that young married couples would do. But in the midst of all of that, those plans, guys, that I had, those plans, they never came to fruition, right? My plan of wanting to start a family, as I watched my other friends and families family grow, it just wasn't happening for us. So one of the things that I found important, and I want to share as I continue to explain my journey, is although we're people of faith and God does tell us that he has good plans for us, it's important for us to remember that faith without works is dead. So in addition to praying for what I want and, keeping the faith and believing that one day I will get what I want, my husband and I had to take that next step, to take the steps that are needed to look outside of simply our faith to try to accomplish our dream. So with that, it took us to, different methods of trying to have these babies, right? So we went on and tried the less invasive IUI, went on to try IVF, and lucky us, we got pregnant on our first shot with the IVF process. Now, let me tell you, I know I say it's lucky, right? Which it is, right? You have to have faith, you have to have medicine, you have to have all of the things had to be perfect in order to cultivate this environment. So, all in all, not only were we blessed, we felt very lucky as well, because all of the emotional and physical and just, tough situations that you go through when trying to start a family and having to deal with infertility, it's not really an easy road to navigate. So, although we were really, really excited, lucky and blessed to have gotten pregnant, those plans, guys, those plans, never was it in my plan that unfortunately my husband and I, our first successful pregnancy resulted in the loss of our daughter. And needless to say, it was one of the most devastating experiences of my life. I just like you don't plan for infertility and you don't know how you're going to navigate, you also don't plan to lose a child, right? So at that point, I just felt, why me? Why is this happening? We tried so hard. We paid so much money. Remember, Ms. Lena, you were talking about that money. You need to send me half of your stack so I can put them around my house too, right? So, so it was just very, very like taunting. I have to tell you guys, I don't know if I was coming or going. I didn't know what to do. And one of the things that I did after having experienced that loss is, because I didn't know what to do, who to turn to. Yes, I have friends that love me. Yes, my family loves me, but you feel like a burden. You feel like you don't want to put your problems onto them. And in addition to that, you feel like they won't understand, right? So, in an effort to try to help relieve some of the emotional distress that I was under, in addition to praying, I was able to link up with a great therapist, which she's still with me today. She helped me get through this. But one of the main things that helped me was journaling. I've always loved to write, being that avid student since I was a little girl. I love to write, I love to journal. And being able to do that while dealing with this loss is kind of sort of really what catapulted me to just keep it going. And it also helped me to get to the next level of my infertility journey. So as that happened, my husband and I, we decided to try again, because in that decision to try again, it also comes with a lot of fear, because you just don't know what to expect now. Because although I'm planning for the unexpected, in my brain, because we lost our child, will it happen again? And remember, we did IVF. So will we even be successful again, right? Will we have money to even pay for this? There's just a lot of moving parts when it comes to a journey such as mine. So we were able to be successful again, and we got pregnant with our twins, Kason and Camden. Love them so much. And although it wasn't an easy journey, they got here safely. They had a 4-month NICU stay, another part that was not expected, right? And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So they were born at 26 weeks, so very early, and they had to stay in the NICU for about 4 months. But we've since brought them home, and they're thriving and doing really, really well. So I want to continue the journey by explaining that after having realized the success in getting pregnant, right, and expanding our family, you know, there was still a lot to navigate. There was still a lot to do. And it's part of my journey now to give back and help the other men, women, and couples that are on their journey. Because not only is my book, It'll Happen by 30, about an infertility story, it just talks about overall, which I know all of us can relate to, how we make plans in our life, regardless of what those plans are, regardless of if you ever thought that they would come to fruition or not. We still dream, we still make plans. But what do you do when those plans don't go accordingly, right? There's a lot of detours and there's a lot of twists and turns and ups and downs that are involved on the journey, that if we don't navigate it in a certain way, it's almost like you're destined to fail. But guess what? God's plans for us was to prosper. So keeping that in the back of your mind also helps as well. So that's why I'm here now on a journey. I've had my leadership and management career for over 20 years now. So not only do I know how to mentor and help people that are currently on their career trajectory, another thing I'd like to do is, or that I am doing, is helping men, women, and couples that are navigating their own family building journey. I have to tell you, it's not an easy road to travel, and it's almost as though you're traveling a road that you're hopeful that you get what you want, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to get what you want. You don't know how it's going to end, right? So you're taking a leap of faith basically the whole time that you're on this journey. So I'm here to help couples, and working with me, I'm able to talk to you about those doctor's appointments. What kinds of questions should you be asking? Should you even try, the medical route for trying to have a baby? Will some more holistic or natural approaches help? And should you navigate that, highly scientific way of having the kid, what's there to look forward to? How was that appointment? Let's talk about it. What should be the next steps? So it's something that I felt would be very, very valuable, because going through that kind of journey and feeling like you have no one to navigate it with, or someone who understands, or you don't know what to do, or you have questions, it's not an easy feat. So my job now in life is to transition into continuing to help other people that are currently on their journey. And right before I end, I'm not sure how much time I have here. I'm okay. Right before I end, I wanted to give a few takeaways to women in particular, but just everyone, right? It's important that whatever road you're navigating in life, there are a few things that I feel that we all need, right? Or things that I feel that we must do. It's important that we remain motivated. And motivation is very, very important. One of the speakers talked about, I believe it was Josias, pardon me if I'm wrong, but multiple speakers said it, that, we have to know our why, but then you need to be able to want to do your why, right? So to do that, how do you stay motivated to keep on the path of getting your why? Because life can throw so many different things at you. And that's where, like the others had mentioned, you invest in some sort of life coach, therapist, faith, whatever you need to help keep you motivated so that you can get to your why. Because motivation and you completing your why is what will impact and help other people. Okay. The next takeaway I would like to share is that we have to be courageous, right? So not only do you get motivated to do it, it still doesn't mean that you're not scared. It still doesn't mean that you're doubtful, but you have to be courageous, right? Because if you don't try, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? So you have to take that leap of faith. That's where your courage comes in. And when the God Almighty says that He has your back because He has plans for you to prosper, put those big boy boots on and just be courageous and take it on, whatever it is. And finally, one of the things I'd like to add in terms of a takeaway is you have to be dynamic. I know a lot of us feel that there's not a lot of dynamism in us, But in fact, there is, because I know a lot of people are very, shy. I was always an introvert growing up. I knew I was good at a lot of stuff, but I was afraid to let people know that. I was always afraid that, someone would say I'm coming across, too arrogant, or maybe, she thinks she's this, or who did she think she is trying to do XYZ. So I had to learn that I needed to step out of that shell, because to do that, I had to dynamically, present, and it doesn't mean being loud or boisterous, which is perfectly fine too, because remember, all of our personalities are different. But for me, I had to learn that being dynamic didn't necessarily mean I had to not be myself. I was being myself unapologetically. All right. So be motivated, be courageous, be dynamic, and reach out for help when you need it. Believe it or not, you're not alone on this journey. And like one of the other speakers said, one of the things that I always get as feedback whenever I meet with people or speak with people is that they express my level of relatability. And it's important to be able to relate to people, because we're all one and the same. Our stories are different, our journeys are different, but we're all one and the same. And when you feel that people can relate to you, it really does help you when you're on their journey to not feel alone. So that's what I wanted to add with you guys today. And you can reach me on Instagram at MCDBE, and my website, www.mcdbe. And I can talk a little bit more about my books, but yes, Miss Lena, that's my time for today.
Chat, she did a phenomenal job. A phenomenal job. So listen, all three of those takeaway resonated with me, from remaining motivated, which can be challenges at times, because sometimes we don't want to be motivated, right? Sometimes it's
Right.
hard to tap into that. So, but
Yeah.
I can relate to that. And then being courageous. How are we gonna be courageous when we don't feel like being motivated? So
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that as well. And then lastly, that being dynamic, that one stood out to me the most, because being a fellow what they call introvert that has to do the extroverted things, and then being raised that is not not to be out in the forefront, be quiet, and
Exactly.
yeah. So that
Exactly.
whole mindset as a business owner, to push past that and make yourself more seen. And it's not that you're boasting; you're just showing what the world needs to see. You're showing them what you have to offer, so you can help them in a different capacity. So those were all great takeaways, and thank you so much for sharing them with us today. Um, it was a very great presentation. So next we have our last set of panelists coming to the stage. We have Miss Jennifer Woods, Miss Avalon Brown, and Miss Rashida Harmon. Yeah, welcome them in the chat. Welcome them to the virtual stage. This is our last group of
Dive
panelists.
into a world filled with understanding and compassion. Autism isn't a one-size-fits-all model. It's a spectrum as diverse as humanity itself. Dr. Lakondra Carnes, a parent of 2 children with autism and an expert, knows this better than anyone. She's penned 2 insightful children's books that offer a glimpse into the world of autism, illuminating its challenges and celebrating its unique potential. Autism Angles, special people with exceptional concepts. Learn more at www.autismangles.org. Presented by Blue Impressions Publishing.
Immerse in a realm of affection, joy, and precious memories with When Grandpa Says No by Mike Webb, brought to you by Blue Impressions Publishing. A captivating portrayal of grandparent-grandchild bond where no becomes fun. This book highlights the pure innocence of childhood, and the wisdom of the Webb's tale is a joyous tribute to grandparenting. Head over to teamlitcon.org/MikeWebb for more information.
Welcome to the world of self-discovery, the journey of Naila Payton, author of Things I No Longer Accept, presented by Blue Impressions Publishing. Embark on a quest of self-realization and personal growth. Dive into the world of human relationships and unconditional self-love. Find the insight to walk away from toxic relationships. Get your copy today.
Hey there, authors in the making. Are you ready to move from book idea to a book? I am Chrissy Ann Leonard, founder of The Humble Heartbeat, where we not only talk about books, but we work on writing books. We've created the We Write to Witness Writing Academy, where we talk about writing a book and we do the actual work to write the book. The best part is not only do you have access to book coaching, but you get an accountability coach to keep you focused. Contact me at www.chrissyleonard.com and don't miss out on this opportunity.
Welcome to the world of self-discovery, the journey of Naila Payton, author of Things I No Longer Accept, presented by Blue Impressions Publishing. Embark on a quest of self-realization and personal growth. Dive into the world of human relationships and unconditional self-love. Find the insight to walk away from toxic relationships. Get your copy today.
Okay, guys, so real quick, before we bring on this final panel, don't forget, I'm going to put in the chat one more good time for you guys to enter to win. Remember, you got to be here, though. So when you go to litcon.org, for anybody who's watching on social media, I see you guys commenting on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube. You want to join us in the conference so you can get a chance to win. And everybody who is here today is going to be walking away with a 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher where you actually literally only pay the taxes when you activate it, and we'll take care of the room. So if you want to get this voucher, you need to make sure that you go to litcon.org and register. Let me go ahead and get this panel situated real quick, y'all. It's a whole lot of me. But what I want to do is make sure, before we do that, I want to put it in preview and put our panelists on there. And then we're going to bring back up Lena Payton Webb so that she can introduce this amazing panel. And type in the chat. Let me know, guys, what are some of the takeaways? What are some of the amazing things that you have learned from our speakers on today? They have been phenomenal. Lena has just absolutely done her thing with her panelists on today. I am just so thrilled and so grateful to have just been a spectator in this particular sport of virtual conferences. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and get back to it. We're going to introduce Lena Payton Webb as she brings on the panelists. Let's go.
All right, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So our last group of panelists, we have Miss Jennifer Woods, Miss Avalon Brown, and Miss Rashada Harmon coming to the virtual stage. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Y'all look cute. Okay, all right. So we're gonna start off. Let me get myself together.
Yeah, I was going to
We're
say,
gonna
Lena,
start
scoot
off.
over real quick.
Yeah. So we're gonna start off. Let's see. Miss Harmon, let me get you to introduce yourself to the people and tell them a little bit about yourself, and then I'll come back with some questions.
Okay, hello, my name is Rashidra Harmon. I am a school counselor, a mother of 4 with 1 fur baby. I am a author. I speak. I published my first children's book maybe 2 years ago now. I'm working on another one. My first children's book is titled You Are Perfect the Way You Are. That book was created to help empower, encourage, and inspire youth. Not only youth, but I also found myself in the book just as being a child and being young myself before. And I was a kid that was picked on. And even as adults now, it feels good to hear that you still look perfect or you are perfect. And sometimes you have to empower yourself by saying, self, you look good today, or just encouraging yourself to keep going and to be positive.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Thank you. All right, Miss Woods, Miss Jennifer Woods, introduce yourself to the people. You mute. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Hello, once again. My name is Jennifer Woods. I'm a native of Mobile, Alabama. I earned my BS in psychology, and I um, went to got my psychology degree to help youth find their purpose in life and to also think positive. I am happily married to a wonderful man, Daryl Woods, for 34 years. We have 5 children. One resides in heaven. I am an author with Blue Impressions Publishing, and the title of my book is Caleb, an Angel with Broken Wings.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And then lastly, Miss Avalon Brown, go ahead and introduce yourself, please, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Avalon Brown. I am from Newark, New Jersey. I have been writing since 2012. My first book was my memoir of my nursing career and how God took me through a lot of challenges. Then I delved into children's book, which all my grandchildren are the characters. My first children book was Mommy, Why Do I Have a Cold? And I wrote that because my last job was an infection preventionist. I'm also a registered nurse. I've done some poetry book. My last book that I've done, my most recent book I've done was this one, which is Nursing is Our Passion, We Can't Quit, which I put together with 10 other nurses to write about their challenges in nursing and how we can help the next group of nurses, the new generation, the younger nurses flourish in their profession and to help encourage them to, stay in nursing because so many nurses are quitting.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I'm gonna go back to you, Miss Woods. Tell us about your journey as an author and how you got here today.
Okay. My journey as an author started in my teens, writing poems and satires. At that time, I was trying to discover love, who I was, and how the world in which I lived would perceive. Um, and in doing so, I just found a passion for it. It kind of helped me to put things or how I was feeling into words. And that just helped with encouraging me to even write more.
Okay. And so where are you at today with your writing?
Oh, right now, well, the book, I'm at the place where I know I should be and should have been in a while. Um, I was inspired to write this book and that use it as a healing tool after the passing of my son Caleb, who resides now as an angel. He passed away on May the 14th, 2023, on Mother's Day at the age of 24.
So I know Caleb he hasn't, he's been his angel, he's got his wings not even a year ago, right? So
Yes, correct.
what do you see? What is your goal with the book? I know we talked
Well,
about that really in depth. So share with the people what it is your goal is with your book.
my goal is, well, the book is to honor him, and I want people to understand how, I mean, my life, my family life has changed with having Caleb in our lives. This book, has helped me to focus and help others to focus on life, living after Caleb, um, and, and for Caleb and like Caleb. Um, Caleb was a blessing to our family and all that knew him. So I want others to look at this book and know that no matter what challenges or adversities may come your way, when you have a child that may have a disability or written off, before they're born, to have faith, to trust in the Lord, to pray and never give up, that God has the last say so.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that, and thank you for sharing that, and thank you for sharing the pieces of Caleb with me. I got to got to know him a little bit in the process of getting your book published. So I thank you for that. Um, oh, there he is. All right. So Miss let's see. Miss Harmon, tell us about your latest project and what inspired you to write it.
My latest project, um, what is You Are Perfect the Way You Are. What inspired me to write it was during that time we had COVID going on. We were in the house, um, idle. I have 4 kids. My kids were doing classes virtually. I was still working as an English teacher. And just being around my students, just being around my own kids, being a child, like I said, one day before myself, you just sit back and you think of a lot of things. Um, Bullying does still exist. Kids are picked on all the time, and even more so now than before, kids are not always considered what you call nice. Some comments, some thoughts, and some things are evil. Child suicide rates are skyrocketing. Depression is real. Kids are not feeling good about themselves. They don't find anything good to say about themselves. And just talk to my son and going through with him, hearing what he would experience in school, and then having that's my oldest son and having 3 kids underneath him, and like, okay, I can relate. Let's do something different. Let's become inspired. Let's think of something else. Let me think of a different way to touch. Even though I work with children every day as an English teacher, that's one thing. And working in education, that's one round, and that's one way that I can connect. But there has to be another way also. So I picked up the pen again and I wrote. So that was my inspiration. And while writing, kids used to call me, or even people that I'm close to, well, you're fat or you're skinny. And then sometimes you're short, or you have braces, or you have a gap, like just different things. The people with glasses used to be called four eyes. So in the book, you're told, and the speaker, myself at that time, speaking to a child, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are. It doesn't matter how tall or how short. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, pale, pink. It doesn't matter that you are still perfect the way you are. You're still perfect in your own way.
All right. Well, thank you. I think that is such a powerful statement, and I think it's so well needed, and not just for kids, for us as adults too, as that constant reminder that we don't have to be like anybody else. We're perfect the way we are, regardless to what shape, size, color, um, we are.
I
So
got
yeah.
a chance to do a virtual author speaking at a elementary school in Portsmouth, Virginia. And during this tour, or during the speaking assignment, I asked kids to tell me at least one perfect thing about themselves. And it was just amazing how many 6-year-olds did not feel like they had something perfect to
Mhm.
tell me about themselves. So we even took it to, maybe the color of your fingernails, or, maybe your eye color, like little things. And then after talking to them and after other kids began to share, one little girl showed me, like, Miss Herman, well, my feet are pink. And I'm like, awesome. Okay, what else? And, some kids had cats or animals. And it was nice because we were still working virtually so kids could pull and think of different things. And it was just shocking that, babies don't always think about things like that. They don't always find things about themselves that are perfect. And like you said, Miss Lena, even us as adults, I would always think, well, I'm fat. But some people pay to become thicker, whereas some people pay to lose weight. You have to feel good about the skin that you're in.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. That is true, and they pay good money for it too. They pay good money for it too. All right, Miss Brown, if you could give some words to an aspiring author that's looking to get started, what would it be?
Like it's been said previously, there are so many stories within you, and you need to bring these stories out. It is so important that people know different things that have been going on. I mean, I'm in like 8 anthologies of different titles and genres. You know, there's stories in us, and at some point we need to let them come out. And this is where I am with the writing now. I'm focusing on the nurses because there's so many stories. I have 42 years of nursing, and there's so many stories that I have to tell, and I'm going to start putting them in a self-help book to help the other nurses.
I like that. I like that you already know your target, you know your niche, you know who your words are going to be for because you've lived it, right? So it's already in you, and then for you to pass that experience and that knowledge on to the next set of nurses that's coming behind you, there those words will be here long after we will, right? So that would it'll just live on and on and on. So that's very empowering. So let's see, Miss Woods, let me ask you about this. So I know we met at where did we meet? Tell the people where we met at.
Met at a Litcon event. And when I got there, it was just amazing. And how I got to meet it, come there, was my aunt. She was watching you on the news, and she knew that I was looking for a publisher to help me with my book. And she called me and she told me all about it. And then I went and signed up. And that was the most amazing thing that I, could have done, because I was where I needed to be, where the Lord wanted me to be to get my book published.
Yes, 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 yes. So we met Miss Woods, like she said, at Litcon here in Mobile, and
Yeah.
we connected, and it's been a pleasure being able to bring Caleb's story to life for you, right? And in the
Right.
form of a self-help book. So it's been a journey, right? And I know that grief has no time, but it's
Yeah.
just in the short time we've been together, your whole aura has changed. You know what I'm saying? It's just changed, it's shifted, because I think now you're doing what it is, you're using his legacy as a reason to be here.
Yes, because it's been times when it's like, what is my purpose? After, if anyone have lost a child and trying to find yourself and your purpose, it's hard, because you start feeling guilt, and guilt can really torment you, which it has been with me. But knowing that putting this book out to help me, but not only help me, but can help others in their grieving time, where now I look at this book as Caleb living on. Even after I am gone, Caleb's story will still be told.
Hmm. And I was sharing with her yesterday that how uh, powerful her story is, um, to be in the space that she is in. Right, it hasn't been 12 months. She's thinking that the impact is Caleb, and I'm looking at her like, no, you're just as impactful. That's a lot of resilience, a lot of power, a lot of that's a lot. That's a lot. You're a strong person, you know, want to make
Yeah.
yourself vulnerable, because we just talked about that earlier, right? When we put them stories and words in a book, you open it up for everybody else to look at, judge, comment, say what they're going to
Yeah.
say. So that takes a lot. So kudos to
Yes.
you. Kudos to you.
Thank
And we
you.
thank you at Blue Impressions for allowing us to be part of your journey and sharing Caleb with us, so we can help you to do the thing that you're here to do, right? So we
Right.
appreciate that. We appreciate that. So, ladies, y'all
Thank
tell
you.
everybody where they can connect with you, follow you, and stay in touch with you at.
Well, I am on Facebook under author Avalon S. Brown. You can also catch me on my website, authoravalonsb.com. And I'm under LinkedIn as well, author Avalon Celeste Brown.
All right, Miss Woods.
Okay, for me, it's teamlitcon.org/Jennifer Woods.
Thank you. All right, Miss Harmon.
Yes, you can contact and stay connected with me on Instagram at ra.harmon, and or you can also reach out to me on my webpage, which is www.theharmonlegacy.com.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Well, thank you, ladies. Thanks for sharing with us your reasons, your whys, your purpose, and connecting with us. So we enjoyed having you. We thank you for your insight and your time. And y'all make sure y'all follow up with them. Check out their website, connect with them on social media. As you see, everybody has a different reason for why they write. Some of us write for to inspire people. Some of us write to leave a legacy. Some of us are writing for educational reasons. Some of us are writing for grief, right? And to inspire other people. So y'all make sure y'all connect with them and yeah, stay send them some love. All right. Let's see. I think we got some commercials and some giveaways.
Yes. Yes, I think we could do a giveaway of 2 or
All
3.
right.
But how many you got? You got 2 right now.
Got 2.
Okay, all right. So real quick though, what I want to share with all of our exhibitors. So the individuals who fit, so it's some exhibitors who are not logged in. So I don't. It's hard to try to get you guys on there. So the following names, okay. We sent you an email earlier today. Rashidra, Avalon, Lashandra, Cornell, Nyla, Chrissy, Nicole, Deshonda, and Josias. So you guys submitted the exhibitors. So you're our vendors. But in order for you to be a vendor, you need to check your email because you have to be a BQ. You got to set up the account so that we can add you to your exhibitor page. Okay. So please make sure that you go ahead and set that up ASAP because I'm trying to add some of you guys and it's saying that you have not set up your account. So make sure you do that. And the other thing that I want to talk about in regards to, real quick, Lena, is it okay? Because I know everybody was asking about the Ghana. Is that cool if I talk
Oh,
about that real quick?
absolutely. Yes. We want all the friends to come. We want all the
Okay.
friends to come.
We definitely do. Now, this is the thing, and I knew that it was going to happen, guys. We sold out of spots so quickly. We have 20 total spots, and that is, of course, included with myself and Brittany Petty, who is a fellow BPC member. I'm trying to pull up the flyer so y'all can see it. Hold on, y'all. It's a lot over here. But she's a fellow BPC member, and we're all about this year is all about collaborating, right, Lena? And
Yep.
so, I want to collaborate with more people. This is why we're doing Litcon. We're collaborating, right? And so, this is an opportunity for when individuals are doing something. I'm like, well, let's do it together. And so, Brittany Petty was telling me about this Ghana trip that she wanted to do. She was going to possibly work with someone who does this type of things. I've been to Ghana twice already, and the fee was a lot. It was like I don't know, over 4 to 5 thousand, and it was just to go to Ghana. And so, me being the person that I am, I have spoken that we want to speak on more international stages. Amen. And so, we're already going to Canada in May for my birthday. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I was like, you know what? I've been saying I wanted to go back to Ghana. They told me over 2 million people were in the building. When I say building, I mean the entire country, flew into Ghana for the new year, and it just only made sense. And so, as I was looking up the information, Lena, all the hotels were sold out. Like when I tell you, people are already preparing to go to Ghana already right now. And so, I'm thinking about, to me, the millionaires that are going to be there, the billionaires that are going to be there, all the people that were in, because Ghana's different. It's not like here in the US where it's very hard to touch. Okay. These are huge opportunities. So we have speaking, we have a conference that we're doing, a retreat that we're doing. As you can see, we literally only have 4 spots. So if you're interested, you're going to go to www.book, and somebody can type this in the chat, bookprofitsclub.com/Ghana. And again, we only have 4. This is not the Hype Fest. We literally have sold out of them. We offer a lot of our speaking opportunities and things like this to our BPC members first. If you want to know more about Book Profits Club, Lena can get you the details on how you can join with her. But yes, if you're interested, these spots are probably going to be gone by the end of this weekend. So book profitsclub.com/Ghana will get you all the details, what the investment is, what the bonuses are when you're speaking, the retreat, traveling to Cape Coast, all of that. Okay. Okay, so that's it. All right, so now let's go ahead and spin for this one. Hold on, let me pull up. I got to pull up some more names. Is there anything else you wanted to add? I mean, Lena, how did you find these amazing authors? Can we talk about that real quick? Because,
Yeah,
girl,
some of them
these
we
authors
have
are
some
some dynamic
amazing clients.
spirits.
Some, well, you see, most of them were clients. So our clients are amazing. I just have to say that I have to throw that out there about Blue and Precious. Our clients are so amazing. So of course they're gonna be perfect fits for Litcon, right? So, but
Of
not on
course.
top of that, what's that saying? Iron sharpens iron. So we try and keep a close community of amazing authors, even if they're not part of the Blue and Precious family. We still family. We took a family photo last night. They was up there like this, and it was amazing. But it's just it's that community, right? So if you're not connected to a community of authors, y'all stay connected to Litcon and BPC. We are doing it. We inspire each other. We motivate each other. We educate each other. We learn from each other. Test trials and tribulations. You don't have to be out here by yourself doing it. So that's all I got, Coach. That's all I got.
Well, amen. Hallelujah. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do. I'm gonna pull up the spreadsheet real quick. Again, I know some people are submitting their information more than once. Y'all, that's why I put it in the chat several times. Listen. I always say, Lena, 80% of success is showing up, but also I want to add in following the instructions. So we got to be willing to follow the instructions. And so hold on one quick. Let me do this. Okay, and hopefully they are here. Hopefully they are here.
Did the
Make
other
sure
one
you
show
write
up?
down. Child, they missing out on the free
Oh my
free.
goodness.
Lord, where they do that at? Where
Mm,
do they do that at? Not at the Litcon. And
no.
then shout out, another thing while I'm pulling up these names, because again I got to remove some of these duplicates. You had some people in the chat that were sharing this. And so I definitely want to commend anybody who was sharing this out. Thank you guys so much for sharing this to people. We have probably at this point, I haven't looked at the registration numbers, Lena, but I know that we were at about what 250 between 250 and 260.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like we could push it. We're going to be at 300 registrations
Yeah.
by the end of today. Okay.
Good.
Won't
That's
he?
good. That's good. That's good.
Yes, that's good. Okay, so let me go ahead and add these names into the wheel of names. Now, if a name was already selected or called, I know we did call Nishika. Nishika disappeared on us. And then we called, who else was Yolanda? It was
Yolanda.
Yolanda. And I seen Yolanda and Nishika in the chat. Man.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go ahead and pull up the screen real quick. And we're going to do these two giveaways. What do we have? What are we giving
We got
away?
the Visa gift card, and we have the restaurant gift card.
Ooh, child, can I win? Lord. Okay, let's drum roll for the Visa gift card. Drum. All right, Linda, tell us, are you here? If you're here, please let us know in the chat. Let us know if Linda Tellis is here. Congratulations to you. And we're going to spend one more time for the next win. And the next win, I forgot what you said just that quick. What you said?
The food for the
Some
restaurant.
food. Look, I'm hungry. That's what it is. I need to eat right now. I can't remember. Okay, let's get some restaurant day. Come on, drum roll. Linda Tellis is here. Whoop,
Yes,
whoop, whoop. Look at this, Dominique Carson. I'm telling you,
Dominique.
Dominique. If we had our conference for the New Year, New You, Dominique won like 3, 4 times. Okay, y'all need to make sure y'all stay connected to Dominique,
Right.
because baby,
That might be a good sign. That's a good sign. We
it's
have
a
to have
good
Dominique where
sign.
I can win and have Deshaun sending money my way, man.
Right. Between the manifestation of the
Come on.
money and the winning. Amen. Okay, well, listen, congratulations to you guys. For those of you, we have so many people that are watching on social media. Y'all come join us in the chat because we're going to be doing some opportunities where you get to connect with our speakers. We'll do a couple of breakout rooms as well as the exhibitors. But Lena, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you. I know that we have our next speaker on the line.
Okay, so are we doing the commercials again?
No, because
Or
I
you just
played them before. I had already
you
played
played
them before. So, yep.
them? Okay.
But we'll play
So
them at the
before we
end.
bring
We'll play them at the end for a little while.
Okay, so before we bring the next speaker, we have our the in March we have the Litcon Atlanta coming up, and we'll get that in the chat some kind of way. We have that in March, and it's at Georgia Tech, March the 2nd. So stay tuned for that. So if you enjoyed this, and we'll have more of these than in person going forward, but next month we will be in Atlanta at Georgia Tech on March the 2nd. All right. So our next speaker, right? So Dr. LaShondra Carnes holds a Master of Science degree in Speech and Language Pathology from Mississippi University. She has achieved academic excellence and received the prestigious cum laude distinction, as well as the National Student Speech and Language Academic and Leadership Award. Her notable accomplishments were acknowledged by inclusion of the Who's Who in Professionals in 2007, 2010, and in 2015. Dr. Carnes is deeply committed in supporting and assisting families in advocating for their children, understanding the available services, ensuring that they receive the necessary assistance. She is the founder of Autism Angles. Dr. Carnes embraces the understanding that autism is not a one-size-fits-all model. This perspective is rooted in her professional experience as a parent with two teenagers who are on different sides of the autism spectrum. She recognizes their complexities and their challenges. Dr. Carnes is highly regarded as one of my favorite sorors of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, one of the best places to be on this side of heaven. So I welcome to the stage Dr. LaShondra Carnes.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Lena, for that wonderful introduction. I really appreciate that. So, as she mentioned, I am Dr. LaShondra Carnes. I am the founder of Autism Angles, Special People with Exceptional Concept. Our company provides resources for aftercare therapies and strategies in speech therapy for children through teletherapy and home health visits. Professionally, just to give everyone some background, I've been practicing speech pathology for 20 years. I've had the pleasure of providing services for children and adults, but I genuinely love providing therapy for children, and more specifically, the neurodivergent children or those who have been diagnosed with autism. I'm a mother of five, and I have two teens that have been diagnosed with autism. My daughter is graduating from high school this year, and my son, who is headed there. I wrote my children's books to share how individuals can thrive with diagnosis and those parents to have hope in understanding the diagnosis and what is beyond it and what others see. So let's get into it. First, I don't want to assume that everybody know what autism is. So I'm going to give a brief definition of autism, and so everyone can have an understanding of what it looks like. Textbook look. Autism spectrum disorder is a condition related to the brain development and how it impacts a person's perception and socialization with others, causing problems in interaction and communication. The disorder also includes limited and repetitive patterns of behavior. The term spectrum in autism spectrum disorder refers to the wide range of symptoms and severity. Autism spectrum disorder includes conditions that were previously considered separate, such as autism, Asperger's syndrome, childhood disintegrative disorder, and an unspecified form of pervasive developmental disorder. Some people still use the term Asperger's syndrome, which is generally thought to be at the mild end of autism spectrum disorder. It begins early in childhood and eventually causes social problems such as in school and at work. Often children show symptoms of autism within the first year. A small number of children can develop normally the first year and then go through a period of regression between 18 and 24 months of age. And then you'll start seeing signs and symptoms of autism. There is no single cause of autism, and given the complexity of the disorder and the fact that the symptoms and severity vary, there are probably many causes that are related to both genetic and environment reasons. While there is no cure for autism spectrum disorder, early treatment can make the biggest difference in children's lives. So for me, this journey has been challenging and it's not over, but I know I am not in this position by chance. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a speech language pathologist by career. When I started college, I had not heard of or been aware of what a speech language pathologist was, let alone to become one. Then my grandfather became ill, and I saw this young lady teaching him how to eat and speak again with significant progress in the treatment that she was providing. We spoke, she shared her profession with me, and I went for it. Now, here we are, a master's in speech pathology, a doctorate in special education, an author, and now navigating two individuals with autism through life. I can recall the moment when I sat down with the psychometrist who gives the formal diagnosis of autism and to explain to me what my daughter was going through, whether she was developmentally delayed or not. He didn't speak in layman's terms, so I had to ask a lot of questions to get him to explain things. But there were many things happening in that moment. Hearing the diagnosis, processing the information, and what's next. And even as a therapist, this was scary. And let me be clear, I am not my child's therapist. I am her mother. And in that moment, I could only be her mom. In my studies back then, there was still a lot of research being done on autism, individuals on the spectrum, and how children were being diagnosed. It changed everything in our lives because we had to figure out how she would thrive. I was told at that time that my daughter would not be loving and she would be emotionally detached. She would not be able to process those emotions. And at the initial diagnosis, my daughter was mute and she had sensory behaviors. And what that looked like for her was she was like a little person that was always on the go. She could not attend to a task. And she was just uncomfortable in her own space. She had no idea how to regulate it, and I didn't either. So then comes child number two, still trying to figure out what to do with child number one, who comes along and has seizures disorder. The first 6 months of his life, he was pretty much sleeping his days away and was not developing well. So trying to find the right doctor was so hard, but that's another story for another day. But after getting his seizures under control, it left him with high sensitivity. He was sensitive to touch and noises. He had inadequate balance. He was verbal initially, and then as he got older, his voice started to fade. Around 4 years old, he was diagnosed with vestibular dysfunction and sensory processing disorder. Now, what does all that mean? Well, for my child, he needed to be able to adapt to sound in loud places or wear some type of equipment to keep the noise low where he could still hear. He also had to find the correct type of fabric in his clothes and shoes so he could be comfortable with balance and support to walk and move around. He was semi-verbal, so how was I going to communicate with him? We started initially with total communication, where we learned American Sign Language and we talked to each other. And we used picture cards in difficult moments so he could just tell me his wants and needs. And yes, all of this was a lot. And for the kids that was growing up around them, they saw no difference in my kids. They were okay. It was the adults that said rude and crude things to me like, your children don't look like they have autism, or, oh, those poor kids. First, autism does not have a look. And the saying, if you've met one person with autism, you have met one person with autism. What works for strategies for one may not work for all. And then as the children grow into young adults, those previous strategies may not work, or some other type of strategy may be needed, or nothing at all. This journey is truly a trial and error situation, and staying diligent through it is what I felt I needed to do. So, what did I do next? For both of my children, I made doctor's appointments, I reached out to other colleagues, researched, got certified as an autism specialist in practice, and I found a neurospecialist in pediatric medicine and psychology. I got them both speech therapy, sensory therapy, and occupational therapy. I made strategies at home, and I tried to educate my extended family on how to communicate and socialize with them that would not set off triggers or cause them to have meltdowns. And meltdowns is when someone with autism may cry or headbang or just have those emotional outbreaks that they can't control. And for myself, I had to learn how to advocate for them. The encouraging part about all of this was how happy my children are. Even back then, they were happy. My daughter, who is no longer mute, has had the opportunity to sing in our community choir and in her church choir, and she's led songs in both of them. She's very popular, and her peers love her. And it's not because she has autism, but just who she is as a person. She has the kindest heart, but is matter of fact. She does not like bullies, and she recognizes the behaviors instantly and will distance herself and call out the rudeness. And I love that about her. She doesn't want to see others sad or hurt, so she'll do something crafty or sweet to try to improve their mood. My daughter has twice been on the homecoming court and won a debutante pageant. It's nice to see her accomplish what she set for herself and be a real life princess, as she calls herself. And my son, he's a baller. He loves basketball and jumping on a trampoline. This also helps regulate his emotions and moods. Um, but being able to jump high from the ground and make shots makes him an excellent player. He's also a suave dresser. He loves his nice clothes and he thinks he's handsome and has the cutest smile. The confidence in this aspect is so lovely to see. They are unaware of their differences because they are just who they are. And one of the valued reasons I wrote their children's books. The other challenging thing that led me here was learning to advocate. Now, when the psychometrist gave me the diagnosis or the prognosis for my child, was he wrong? No, because based on the assessment and what was presented to him on that day, he gave the best prognosis based off of present information. However, it did not mean that that would be the outcome. I had to learn all I could about autism to help my children and now to help others. This is what led me to my early intervention practice. I've met parents who felt the same way I did. Some blamed themselves, some were angry, some just wanted to know how to fix it. Um, Unfortunately, again, there is no cure all for autism. And I wanted to make a difference with parents by assisting them with their therapy choices and support. This is where the birth of Autism Angles came to be. Through Autism Angles, we provide workshops and preparing parents on how to do IEP meetings, update on special education laws, and other community connections for family support. The speech therapy approach is a whole body approach. It's related to communication, socialization, sensory issues, and emotional regulation. Starting this company also gave me the idea to write these 3 books. My 2 children books, Andrew's Talking Tablet and Kennedy's World, are entertaining with caring messages, and they help with language development and communication concepts. These books bring awareness of different communication methods, whether they're verbally, by mouth, with our hands, through sign, or augmentative communication device, which is my son's talking tablet. It highlights how someone who is nonverbal or semiverbal can have other ways to speak and thrive in life. The books also teach lessons on being the best in your own purpose. Being Beyond the Diagnosis, which is a parent guide for children with autism, give parents ways to navigate through this journey and having a child with special needs and ways to cope. You have to find balance because although we want to be able to help our kids and pour into our children who have these special needs, you also have to find ways to care for yourself and be able to make sure that you're healthy in order to take care of your children. No one wants anything to be wrong with their children. However, when as parents we are put in the position to care for our children, which includes therapies, specialists, and maybe even medications, we must equip ourselves with the knowledge to do so. The patience in this, it has been what I've learned, is the utmost virtue that you have to practice in this journey. I hope that I have left you with some encouraging words. In addition to new information on this subject, my books are available on my website for pre-sale at autismangles.com and on my Instagram page. And I thank each of you for this time, and I hope that you've enjoyed what you received from this platform.
Oh man, thank you so much, Dr. Carnes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I had the opportunity not to just work with Dr. Carnes on her three. She mentioned so she has a three book. She has three books. So not just with her on those, but I had the opportunity to actually work with the kids. So we brought in first we brought in Andrew and we did an interview, and Andrew came with his talking tablet. And Andrew told us all the things he liked, what he didn't like, what he's into. And it was just an engaging conversation. It was such a relief, or it was insightful, right, to see how he communicates with his tablet in real time. And then to be able to use that experience with talking to him and interviewing him for the book and using that to make his book about him. And then the same thing with Princess Kennedy. Oh my goodness. So she is a real princess, y'all. Don't she's a real princess in real life. And Dr. Carnes is Queen Mom. She is known as Queen Mom in real life, y'all. In real life. So I just adore the children. Me and Andrew have a date to go to McDonald's. Dr. Carnes thought that Andrew liked Chick-fil-A, and he told her with that tablet he didn't like Chick-fil-A. He likes filet of fish. So me and Andrew have a date to go get some filet of fish once I am in Mississippi, and we will definitely do that. But Dr. Carnes, it was a pleasure and an honor to be able to help you get the children's stories out as well as yours to impact the world with what you're doing with Autism Angles. It is such a much needed space. Last night when we all got together, we heard some of the other authors saying that their children are autistic as well. So it's more of us out here doing things that have things in common than not. So I thank you, and we wish nothing but the best for you, and I know more things are coming. So we are excited about that. So, and thank you for being part of the Blue Impressions publishing family and
Yes, thank
trusting us
you.
with your vision.
All right, everybody. So listen, how is everybody doing? Let me go ahead and shout some of you guys out in the chat space. We've got Brittany. I'm so used to saying Brittany, but Brittany. She says, thank you, Dr. Carnes. Marlene says, thank you, Dr. Carnes. A lot of thank yous. Nicole, awesome. Yes, Nicole just dropped the link in the chat so you can register for the March 2nd event. So for those of you who are like, you know what, I want to pull up physically to Litcon. Nicole dropped it in the chat, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Thank you, Nicole. Avalon, Yolanda's back. Okay, Yolanda, we see you, girl. Tavita, hello. And everybody that's watching on social, listen, if you don't want to miss another Litcon event, right? If you don't want to miss any, whether it's physical or virtual, if you want to know more about getting published, if you want to know more about being able to take your books to the next level, you need to go to litcon.org right now. Go register. You might only get a little bit more minutes, but you're going to get a lot. For our exhibitors, we have sent out emails to everybody who did register. Unfortunately, not all of the exhibitors, I don't think, are still here. So the ones that did get the emails that submitted the exhibitor slash vendor form, we sent you an email, okay? So you need to make sure you check that out. What we may also do, guys, for our speakers is we'll create rooms. We'll create a room. So if you want to come into the room, we might just do it that way to make it easier. If you want to come into the room with one of the speakers from today, we'll just create separate rooms and you can jump into their direct room for a little while afterwards. How does that sound? Okay. So we'll put the names of the rooms in the lounge. It'll be the first and last name of the speaker. If the speaker is still here, they'll be there. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so if the speaker is still here, then they'll be in the lounge. Does that make sense? So that is going to be the way that we'll do the breakouts. Also, if you go into a lounge, please mute yourself. They said that y'all was all in the lounge unmuted, loud, and people. And Chrissy said I couldn't meet nobody because wouldn't nobody mute themselves. So please make sure when you go into the lounge that you mute yourself. Well, guys, guess what? It is the time of the hour because now it's time to hear from the Lena Payton Webb. And so I'm just going to say a couple of words and then we're going to get into this with her amazing talk. Lena has been a part of our community now. It seems like it's been so much longer than what it is. I think it's only been about 6-7 months when she jumped on board, but she was already having success. And, I will tell you this, her company has definitely grown tremendously. She has a very specific audience of who she's serving, as you can see. I mean, she's got some dynamic speakers, dynamic entrepreneurs, business owners, and I'm loving to see the community and the camaraderie that's being built. Again, I told you guys that she's a mother and she's a wife. She is a speaker and she is a coach. She is a publisher and she has published her own books. I love her unique style of coloring books as well as what we call, hold on, not just coloring books, but I'm about to say I got manifestation in my
Artistic
mind.
expression.
The artistic expression, but no. What's the other word? Lena, what's the other word? The Lord, God, don't get me. You know, with the quotes and stuff. So she does all types of books. Okay, so if you want to have
Affirmation.
the who?
To my affirmation.
No, but affirmation works. But affirmation books, we're talking about coloring books. Now, for anybody who is in the space of coaching, life coaching, personal coaching, emotional coaching, it's all types of coaching, right? I'm telling you, the idea behind what she's doing with these coloring books is phenomenal. So make sure that you guys plug in. Well, let me go ahead and get out the way. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this good intro. And we have none other than our amazing host, amazing creator of the Litcon movement, y'all, Lena Payton Webb.
All
Here
right,
she
all right.
goes.
We are in. We are in for the we at the tail end, y'all. We at the tail end. So hold on. We almost there. So let me ask y'all a question. Do you know that 70% of adults in the United States of America will face some type of mental health or emotional challenge? If you know that, put it in the chat. Have you ever faced any type of mental or emotional challenge yourself? If that's you, put the number 2 in the chat. Now, if you are a mental health professional, a spiritual leader, or someone that works in the life coach space, I want you to put the number 3 in the chat. So again, my name is Lena Payton Webb, and I help authors, coaches, and consultants create additional streams of income using custom coloring books, workbooks, and self-help books. So first, a little bit about me. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. Anybody from Detroit? If you're from Detroit, put the number 4 in the chat. Put the number 4 in the chat. No, put the number 313. Put that area code in the chat. I currently live in Daphne, Alabama. If you are in Alabama or in the Mobile area, put that 251 in the chat. So I've lived in Daphne for about 4 years. I'm married to Michael Webb. I am a mom. I'm a grandmother of an amazing 5-month-old. I'm a fur mom of 3. I have Rocco, Biscuit, and Cosmo. I am a certified graphic designer by trade of over 30 plus years. I've worked for such companies as the Final Call newspaper, the Michigan Citizen newspaper, Little Caesars Pizza, and the first Black print company in Detroit. I'm a certified therapeutic art coach by trade. I am a retired Army veteran of 21 years, 11 months, and 7 days. And if you give me a few minutes, I'll tell you how many seconds as well. Do we have any veterans in the space today? If we do, put your branch in the service, your branch of service in the chat for me. And I thank you for your service. I am also a member again of the finest sorority on this side of both sides of heaven, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So back in 2010, I was diagnosed with cancer. Now, this cancer, it didn't just attack my body. This cancer tried to take me out. It tried to take me out my mind. It tried to take me out of everything I thought I knew and loved. This cancer had me so angry. It had me angry. It had me confused. It had me worried. It had me stressed. It had me hopeless at times. It had me distraught. See, prior to that, I was living my best life. I was being all I could be. I was just enjoying life. I was traveling the world, experiencing new things, serving my country, just being all I can be. I mean, when I say your girl was bad, I was breaking barriers and taking names. I was what they call battle staff certified. What the kids do, they do like this. I did that. I was an Army recruiter. I did that. I was a senior non-commissioned officer, a sergeant first class promotable. And I did that. Now, then I had the nerve to want to go from enlisted to becoming an engineer officer. I did that until one day. One day, I decide to take my girls to the doctor. I take them to the doctor for some routine cheerleading physicals. I'm thinking, okay, we all need physicals, so we just go get them all done at the same time. We go to the doctor, we get the physical, and then I get the call. Lena, we need you to come back in here. My thought was, did I leave my purse? Did I leave my bag? Did they leave their things again? They said no. We've got your test results back and you have leukemia. My response was, whose? Not me. So I refused to go back to that doctor. I would then go to another doctor for a second opinion to yield the same results. So this nurse would tell me, leukemia is a silent killer because oftentimes you don't know you have it until it's too late. Well, weren't you tired? I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I got 2 kids. My niece had just came to live with me, so I had just acquired her. I had my dad that I was caring for, who was fighting bladder cancer. And I had 373 soldiers depending on me. I was always tired. That was a normal way of life for me. So she said, well, we need you to come in for treatment. So I said, well, I can't. I have these kids, I have my dad, and I have 373 soldiers depending on me. So the next day, another nurse calls and she says, you have to come in here. We need to get this treatment started right away. And I tell her, I can't. I have my kids, I have my dad, and I got these 373 soldiers depending on me. I have nobody to help me. So the next day, a social worker called. By this point, y'all, they on my last nerve. I'm like, I know them other two ladies done told you I can't. I have my kids, I have my dad, and I got these 373 soldiers depending on me. The social worker says, Lena, if you don't come in here right away, you won't be there for your kids, you won't be here for your dad, and you won't be there for your soldiers. She says, just come in and talk to me. Just come in and talk to me. I said, well, what does this treatment look like anyway? I know what cancer treatment looks like for my dad. What is that going to look like for me? She said, well, leukemia, because it's a blood cancer, is 4 months inpatient treatment. I'm thinking, they not getting the memo. They're not understanding. I ain't got no 4 months. I got these kids. I got my dad. And I got these 373 soldiers depending on me. I have nobody to help me. So she said, just come in and talk to me. Just come on in and talk to me and we're going to see what we can do. So I pack up the kids. My dad is already in the hospital on another floor. I act like and I treat it like it's a military assignment. I pack up for 4 months to do this, what I thought in my mindset was telling me it's just a tour. My mind was telling me, you got this, just go on in there, do the 4 months and come on out. We get there, the social worker puts me in a room and I'm looking at her like, what you gonna do with these kids? Because they can't leave. I have no place else for them to go. She rolls in the room a chair, the recliners that stretch out to a bed. And she said, now the kids are just visiting, right? And I'm like, no. She said, they're just visiting, right? I was like, if you say so. I'm like, that, but they ain't leaving. But that's where the kids will stay until I can make other arrangements for someone to help care for them. All this is happening. My dad is on another floor. The kids go between floor to floor. And we're going for a couple of weeks doing my tour. And I'm like, okay, I got these 4 months to do. I got to get out of here. And I got to go back to being all I can be. So I got to make sure I'm able to do that. I got to make sure I'm fit. So every morning I would get up. I would take my chemo pole. Her name was Charlene. Me and Charlene would get up every morning and we would walk the halls. Every morning we would get up and walk the halls because I wanted to stay fit so I can go back to being all that I could be. Every morning we walked that hall of the Carmine's Cancer Institute on the 11th floor. until one day I woke up and I could not see. One day I woke up and my eyes was burning. I couldn't open them. The light would hurt. They would just tear up. It would just water drying from my eyes and I could not see. I'm like, Lord, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with this? How am I going to take care of these kids? How am I going to take care of my dad? How am I going to take care of me? And I cannot see. The nurse calls the doctors calls the specialist, and they have no explanation. No explanation. They don't know what happened. They don't know why it happened. They don't know how long, if this is permanent. They just let me sit in that room while they experimented on me. I'm like, Father God, what did I do? What did I do? I thought I had did something to deserve this. My mind was telling me that it was something that I did to cause this. Why can't I see? The pain from the lights, whenever they would turn the lights on in the room, would just be excruciating. At this point, the kids would have to hold my hands to take me to the restroom. The nurses would have to come in and do everything for me because I cannot see. Now, how am I supposed to go back to being all that I can be and I can't see? Today, I know this. I know that was God's way of telling me to sit down and be still. That was God's way of saying, I tried to tell you with the leukemia, but you want to go out here and walk the halls trying to be all you can be. I don't know how y'all God talk to y'all, but he talked to me like this. Where they do that at, Lena? So now I have to sit you down a different way so you have nothing else to do but listen to me. I don't know how many of y'all are out here that's listening today that has something, that there's something you're supposed to be doing, something you're called to do, and you're not doing. If that's you in the chat, put that's me. If you know you have some gifts and talents and you're not doing it, if that's you, put that's me. Don't be like me. God has given us all purpose and we're supposed to be doing it. And that was his way of telling me, you are done. You are done in that man's army. You're done. You're done in that man's army. From this day forward, you will do what I called you to do. You will use your gifts and talents. You will use the creativity that I have put into you to do. You will use that to help inspire my people to do their work, to inspire other people through words and through art. One day, a little hospital volunteer walks in my room and she says, would you like some water? Would you like a book? Would you like a coloring book? And I'm thinking to myself, this lady see me sitting in this dark every day, and she's going to ask me if I want some books. And I said, let me get the water and let me get that coloring book. Now, let me tell y'all about this coloring book. This coloring book looked like something my grandson should be using in a couple of years. It had ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and Barney on the cover. But I would take that coloring book, and my mind told me, if you could just see the images on the page, if you could just see, I would open up that book. I would look for the lines. I would have water just dripping out my face. The book would be filled with tears because it hurt so bad. But I was determined to see. I didn't care what the doctors were saying. The doctors were saying, you're not going to be, don't know what it is. You're not going to be able to see. I would do that. I would do that for weeks. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. So I used the coloring book as a tool because God had took my sight so I could appreciate the gift that he had put into me. So today I sit here talking to you with my sight on how to go from creativity to prosperity with 3 tips on how to profit using creativity. So tip number 1, you want to create a custom coloring book, workbook, self-help book, or journal that goes with your brand or your niche. So we've all heard all the stories today, right, of everyone who has a purpose and they're walking in it, or they have a book, they have a brand, and so they have their book to go along with what they're called to do. So if you're that person and you know you're supposed to be doing something and you're not doing it, that is my tip number 1. Create your custom coloring book, workbook, self-help book, or journal. That's the first. And that will bring you an additional stream of income. Tip number 2, use your custom coloring book, workbook, self-help book as a digital product. Y'all probably like, well, Lena, what the heck is a digital product? Let me ask you this. How many of y'all like to get stuff, pay for something and you get it right then? If you like to get stuff right then, put the $ in the chat. You like to get your money right then, you like to get your stuff right then. Either one of those of you, put the $ in the chat. So that's what a digital product is. A digital product is someone goes to your website, they purchase something, you get the money right then, they get the product right then. That's tip number 2. And then tip number 3, use your custom coloring book, workbook, self-help book, or journal to conduct retreats, webinars, or classes. So as you heard DeShonda say earlier, she has her book, it has different elements in it. She is able to take any piece of that and use it as a workbook by itself. She could take it and she could use it as a retreat, to host a retreat. She could take a different part and use it for a webinar. She could take a different part and use it as a seminar, all giving her an additional stream of income. So now I want you to do something for me. I'm going to give you 4 color options. And I want you to think about these 4 colors, and I want you to tell me in the chat which one of these colors resonate with you. So your color options are red, green, yellow, or blue. Which color resonates with you? Red, green, yellow, or blue? So for my folks that said they like red. So that red tells me as a therapeutic art coach that there's some passion there. It could be passion for what you do. It could be passion for life. It could be passion for your business, right? Some people associate red with anger. But passion is red is really a color of people that are driven. It's not all about anger. Sometimes just driven. They're just really driven or passionate about something. So the next color we're going to talk about is green. Who likes green? A lot of people like green because green, we think green represents money, right? But the color green tells me that you like growth, or maybe you're experiencing some growth. And then we have the yellow. Who likes yellow? Now, if you're a person, you tell me, oh, I'm always pulled to yellow or oranges or colors like that, the bright colors of yellow and orange. That tells me that you like happiness, right? You like things that bring you joy. You like feeling giddy, that type of thing. So that's what the yellow family of colors tell me about you. And then there's my favorite, of course, blue. So blue tells me that you're a person of peace, that you're a person of calmness. So that's what the color blue tells me about you. So as we know, colors have meaning and they represent different things. But if you're a therapeutic, if you're a coach, or if you're a therapist or a spiritual leader, or if you work with clients in any capacity, you can use these tools and to communicate with your clients. Not only will those three things bring you additional income, it also adds an extra value or extra way of you communicating with your clients. They can sit there and color something and you can tell exactly how they're feeling. You can tell exactly where they are. Or if you ask them which one of these four colors calls you more, you can get an idea of what they're experiencing in that moment. So because custom books have a way of bridging gaps in your business, I have an opportunity for you today. So today I have for you a way where we can sit down together and we can map out what is the best option for you to do. What's the best book for you to have and what should be included in that to ensure that you talk directly to your clients, that it fits their needs and is given the message that you needed to have, that is talking directly to the people you are trying to serve. So I'm going to share that with you. We'll get it here in the chat. I think we'll get it in the chat one way or another. And it'll be a session with me, and we will talk about your clients. It's like a therapy session. So we dig deep on the needs of your clients and the service that you provide, and we come up with a master plan to ensure that you have the right book that serves the right purpose, and that it also creates you the additional streams of income. So lastly, I want to leave you with this. Not through art and words, not only do we find ourselves, but we heal ourselves. So again, I am Lena Payton Webb, and I help authors, coaches, and consultants create additional streams of income using custom coloring books, workbooks, and self-help books. I thank y'all so much for y'all time.
All right, y'all. Well, let's give it up for Lena. Real quick, though, can you tell us one more thing? Tell us again what it is that everybody's going to get when they work with you. And do you have a link that you can share, an
I
easy to
do.
remember link or something?
It is core. I'm trying to figure out. You want me to put it? I can't put it in the chat, can I?
Well, what you can do to make it easy, for those of you guys who are registered, right? So everybody should have got a text message. If everybody got a text message, I want you to go ahead in the chat and say, I did. If you got a text message, I want you guys to say, I did. Didn't she do amazing, y'all? Come on. This is her first virtual event. And do y'all want another one? I think we should definitely do another one. I think if we knew what we knew today, we would have made sure that we had a million gazillion people here, right? So if you guys got...
close.
It was close. No, it... Listen, I'm sure, Lena, by the time we look at the numbers, you'll be at 300 registrations. And so that's huge. But I do want to show you guys something about doing events, right? So what we must understand, they always say, how many of y'all have ever heard that 80% of success is showing up, right? But we also know that 80% of most people never get to success because you have a large majority of people who say they want a thing, but they're not willing to do a thing. So this is what we're looking for right now. We're not looking for the ones who say they want a thing. We want the ones who say they'll do a thing. And so we want the ones who will take action, right? So let me pull us up together. I'll pull us up together so we can be on the same screen. So Lena, what we want is we want some people that are not just going to talk about what they're going to do. We want some people that's actually going to do the doggone thing, right? We've seen some incredible success stories of your clients that you have worked with. It's literally a no-brainer. And so for those of you guys who have received a text message because you registered, you got a text message from Lena today. If you want to know, and what is it that we're doing? So what is it that they're going to be getting?
The one-on-one to start their book. Oh, I had the phone number. I can give them that.
No, they already have the number. So they can reply to the number and say, I want in. If you don't have it, what's your phone number? What's your system number?
833-951-2665.
Now, if you did not get a text message, you can text this number. For those of y'all watching on social media, maybe you did not get a chat chance, you're going to text I want in, okay? For those of you guys who did get a text message, you're going to just reply to the message and say I want in. This one-on-one strategy, I remember, Lena, when I used to do one-on-one strategy sessions with individuals. First of all, I would charge up to $497 when I was doing a lot of one-on-ones. Now it's $1,000 an hour, right? And Lena is doing the same thing. So what you guys are about to get is a full one-on-one strategy session, not just to, oh, I want to write a book. It's more so about strategizing on what the book is going to be about and how you're going to leverage this. Lena, is it true that many people that you come across that are published authors, they're not making no sales, they're not making no money, they don't know how to market themselves,
They're
they're
doing that
not a part
cheer
of
thing.
the hamster, and they're doing a campaign to get a title
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
broke, and they're not a part of Litcon.
Right.
And so what we're talking about is we're trying to change the statistics. In fact, the number of authors who actually profit is even worse than the 80%. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to text that number and you're going to say, I want in. You're going to qualify yourself for a one-on-one strategy session with an investment. There is an investment. This is not just talk about. See, y'all been here for free since 10 a.m. 9 a.m. for some of y'all on the Central, and some of y'all on the West Coast, 7 a.m., right? Now it's time to put yourselves into the game, right? And so this is an opportunity. Now, for those of you guys watching, how many are we gonna? Because I know we're gonna offer a special. So normally, tell us what your regular price for a one-on-one strategy session is, and then for today, those who take action today, what scholarship are they going to get as far as the number? Like, are we going to do the first 10?
Yeah,
What's going to
the
be the
first 10.
scholarship?
Yep, so it's the first
Okay.
10 normally is 297, right? But today is 97. 97.
So this is what we're doing, guys. So a one-on-one strategy session with Lena Payton Webb with Blue Impressions Publishing, and y'all see the links. She's official out here, and I'm talking about the links of her clients. That's official. I love to see publishers that are finding ways to also market and promote their clients. So normally a one-on-one session is $297 for the first 10 that text her right now, and you must put I want in. She gonna reply back to you and let you know what you need to do. It's a $200 scholarship, so you would not be paying $297. You would be investing $97. Let me put an equivalence of what that is like. That's 5 books. And the crazy thing is that sometimes people will say, "Well, I don't know." You could text 5 people right now and say, listen, I need to learn how to grow my business. I need to learn how to write this book. I need how to learn how to get this thing published. Can you just go ahead and pre-order 5 copies from me? Or 1 copy? Text 5 people, say 1, text 1 person, say 5. There you go. You just got in for a 200, because after the first 10 are done, y'all, it's 297. So again, that's the number, 833-951-2665. You want to put I want in, text that number so that you can get your $200 scholarship for the first 20. Lena, you have done such a phenomenal job on this first virtual Litcon conference. It started off, the internet was trying to trip on us a little bit, but guess what? It warmed up. I guess the devil said, well, they're not going to give up, so let me just go find somebody else.
Let them go and do something else.
Let me go find
We
someone else
thank
that's
you.
going to
We
give
thank
up.
you for hosting. For doing all the background stuff and for everything. So we thank you. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And we look forward to many, 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 many more.
Oh, of course, of course. Deborah, who's watching on YouTube, you got to text this number and say, she'll put I want in on the chat. You got to text this
Miss
number
Lacey,
and put,
I see. I got her number.
yes.
I give it to her, yes.
Okay, so I want in. Get your $200 scholarship. Oh, that's Deborah Lacey that was speaking earlier today. Okay, look, one of our speakers said, I want in. That's how you know it's going to be good. Okay, Lena, I'm going to let you say some last imparting words. The final thing is what I did was, guys, before we turn it over to Lena to close us on out, is if you go into the lounge, you'll see the names of all the speakers. It is not a guarantee that everybody is still here, But if you want to ask some additional questions, you want to connect with our speakers, you're going to go to the lounge. Please, though, if you go into somebody's room, make sure that you mute yourself because it will open up automatically, okay? Also, if you know you're not camera ready, just turn your camera off. You ain't got to have it on. But of course, we would love to be able to see your wonderful faces. So let's go ahead and have Lena Payton Webb to close us on out, y'all. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to be a part of this conference. Looking forward to hearing the success stories of many of you guys that are taking action. Y'all, Lena Payton Webb. And we got about 5 minutes. We got to close it out. All right, Lena, go ahead.
All right, I don't take long. I'm gonna say what need to be said, and we out of here. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for entrusting us. Thank y'all for spending y'all Saturday with us today. And most importantly, thank you to the authors that registered, that had faith in us, that gave up their time, that spent the evening with me yesterday afternoon, getting to know each other and networking. So that's what we're about over here at Litcon. We're about community and sharing love, knowledge, and experiences. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, and thank you again. And of course, you already know what's going on with Blue Impressions. We're doing the thing. Whatever you got going on, connect with us. Let us help you take it to the next level and add that additional stream of income to what you're doing. You're already doing it, so you might as well make the money, right? And then give you that value support that you need to help you go even further. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, and we'll see you in the breakout rooms.
Step into the vivid streets of innovation with Blue Impressions Publishing. We're the pros in creating books with purpose, helping authors, coaches, and consultants to actualize their dreams. From custom coloring books that speak to your clients, to workbooks that set off fresh concepts, and self-help books that navigate your personal journey. Fire up your creativity and increase your income with Blue Impressions. Find out more at yourartisticexpressions.com, where words and art meet.
Dive into Land of Quail's house and explore your passions through writing by Dr. Dawn Menga. Presented by Blue Impressions Publishing, this outstanding journal encourages storytelling. Dive into your thoughts, unveil hidden wisdom, and unleash your true passions. For writers and entrepreneurs, Land of Quail's house is your dependable guide. Start your transformative journey at teamlitcon.org/dawnmenga. Get your copy today and ignite your passion.
Immerse in the compelling memoir, Universal Order by Cornell Offspring Williams. This memoir contains 20 years of resilience and redemption, depicting triumph over adversity. Filled with raw emotion and self-reflection, it showcases powerful transformation. Explore forgiveness and personal growth. It's a testament to human spirit and a beacon of determination. Universal Order inspires self-discovery. Order your copy today at teamlitcon.org/offspring, presented by Blue Impressions Publishing.
Dive headfirst into an extraordinary narrative called Caleb and Angel with Broken Wings, by Jennifer Woods and presented by Blue Impressions Publishing. This story is a beacon for parents and a testament to love's power. Caleb's resilience will inspire people of all ages. Caleb and Angel with Broken Wings by Jennifer Woods, now available at teamlitcon.org/JenniferWoods. Secure your copy today.
Dive into a world filled with understanding and compassion. Autism isn't a one-size-fits-all model. It's a spectrum as diverse as humanity itself. Dr. LaCondra Carnes, a parent of 2 children with autism and an expert, knows this better than anyone. She's penned 2 insightful children's books that offer a glimpse into the world of autism, illuminating its challenges and celebrating its unique potential. Autism Angles, special people with exceptional concepts. Learn more at www.autismangles.org. Presented by Blue Impressions Publishing.
Family is the foundation of our lives. It brings joy and a sense of belonging. 17% of couples suffer in silence with infertility. The stigma ends now. It'll Happen by 30 by infertility advocate Marlene C. Doriso offers a ray of hope. The book is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and online at mcdbe.com.
Immerse in a realm of affection, joy, and precious memories with When Grandpa Says No by Mike Webb, brought to you by Blue Impressions Publishing. A captivating portrayal of grandparent-grandchild bond where no becomes fun. This book highlights the pure innocence of childhood, and the wisdom of the Webb's tale is a joyous tribute to grandparenting. Head over to teamlitcon.org/MikeWebb for more information.
Welcome to the world of self-discovery, the journey of Naila Payton, author of Things I No Longer Accept, presented by Blue Impressions Publishing. Embark on a quest of self-realization and personal growth. Dive into the world of human relationships and unconditional self-love. Find the insight to walk away from toxic relationships. Get your copy today.
Unleash the power within you with Regina Martin, co-author of The Fire Girl Code of Conduct, owner of Dare to Dream motivational speaking and coaching. Regina empowers women and teen girls to light their inner fire. Ignite your potential, increase your success, and turn those dreams into reality. Don't wait another moment. Connect today at Dare to Dream. Motivate@gmail.com.
Uncover the secret to running a successful family childcare business with DeShonda Jennings. Her unique approach intertwines early childhood education with faith and compassion, creating a nurturing environment for our future leaders. DeShonda doesn't just stop there. She's also empowering fellow providers through her innovative childcare coaching methods. Featured in influential outlets like Soigné and Swank, We Empower, and more, her impact is widely recognized. So, if you are an aspiring childcare provider seeking to learn how to build a successful business, make sure that you reach out to DeShonda today. Go to her free resource, 10mistakes-to-avoid.com, where you can download her ebook that's going to teach you the mistakes that people typically make when starting a childcare business. Again, 10mistakes-to-avoid.com. We will see you there.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Kaisha D. Ford with my latest collection of poems and short stories. While I want to connect you through different experiences and reflections that I share in the various stories, to shed light not only on the painful but those joyous breakthroughs, and offer a sense of inspiration that's impactful to you. To learn more and to purchase your copy today, please visit my website. I look forward to seeing you at Litcon Virtual Conference. Be sure to join us. Thank you.
Hey there, book lovers and journaling babes. I am your girl, Nicole Monique, the founder of The Power of Sunshine. I created Unlocking Your Inner Sunshine, which is a healing journal and workbook to assist with unleashing your childhood pain, revealing your adolescent trauma, and healing the adult you to discover your brightness. The thing that sets this book apart from other books is that not only have I experienced every section in the book, it will provide you with relatable stories, the tools you need to succeed, and the guidance to overcome obstacles. You can find this book at teamlitcom.org/Nicole Monique, and don't miss out on an incredible opportunity to see me at the Litcon Virtual Authors Expo on February 3rd. Happy healing, everyone.
Hey there, authors in the making. Are you ready to move from book idea to a book? I am Chrissy Ann Leonard, founder of The Humble Heartbeat, where we not only talk about books, but we work on writing books. We've created the We Write to Witness Writing Academy, where we talk about writing a book and we do the actual work to write the book. The best part is not only do you have access to book coaching, but you get an accountability coach to keep you focused. Contact me at www.chrissyleonard.com and don't miss out on this opportunity.